Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, Angel Cup, we have new deck build box, we have new Gavin cards, we also have some sports dragons. They exist, I guess. We also have a raid apparently, so thank you for the raid, A-Guy, thank you so much, and thank you for the follow, A-Guy, and I'm so blunt. Welcome on in everyone. So, as per usual, we're going to stick to our regular scheduled programming and play some Rush. We're going to be playing in Angel Cup, the Rush tournament. We'll get knocked out round 1, maybe round 2 if we're feeling spicy today. And then we will be commentating on the rest of it, spectating, giving our English voiceover of the wonderful Apaki's stream. So when that's done, we'll then probably just jump into some ladder, and we will probably play some more of the Yami Ruler deck, which I'm quite looking forward to. I do quite like this deck. We are playing a bit of a weird build today. I don't think it's necessarily the best way to play it. I do think, though, it will be interesting to see how it performs, so that is the plan for today. But let's see who we have in the chat. We have Gunkin, Suship, Shari here today. As always, welcome, my friend. We have Dragson, my ever loyal spectator, viewer, aficionado. We have Quova. Morning, everyone. Good morning, Quova. We have Ursus here, as always. We have Manicist, and huge congratulations to Manicist for winning the Cloudy City Rush Weekly 4, I want to say it was called, with his Yami Ruler build. So, Pro Manicist showing that he is not just a silly OTK one trick, and he can actually play multiple decks. So, again, everyone should give a huge round of applause to Manicist. He has come up in the world. He is now top tier Rush duelist, and everyone should bow at his feet and worship him, as really we always should have been doing, because as a fellow Brit, we have this kind of air about us of this kind of regal quality, and I think realistically we should all be showing Manicist the respect he deserves. But Kime Luna emote where? Maybe in the future. Waltz Master Yami Ruler! I mean, Yami Ruler I think is actually a really cool card. I do really like, I guess specifically Yami Tarasu. I think Yami Tarasu is a really I don't know if fun is the right word. I like that it has a control element that doesn't just shut down everything, right? Because, like, against some decks, it's really impactful, and against others, it's not that bad. We have Mr. Bad Time, who is worried, apparently. Welcome on in. Just open the 4-card combo every round. Yami Ruler, best deck. I mean, you could say the exact same thing about Metarian, right? So, there is that. The Yami Ruler that Gran said was bad, right? Well, Yami Ruler itself was very hindered, I suppose, in Rush Duel. It did see some success, but not a ton. Yami Tarasu, Grant has been on a bit of a tirade saying about how, like, unfair that card looks and how we don't have enough outs to it. And in some regards, pretty much spot on. So, we have Descard. Welcome on in. To be honest, the only time I've won a tournament with Metarion, I didn't have Beam in the deck. I've only come second, etc. with Beam. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe it's the handicap of not having the capability to OTK your opponent that really pushes you to go that extra mile, right? It is a bit of a weird one. I feel like the meta right now is in an odd spot where every deck really wants to kill you very fast. There isn't really a slow deck in the meta. Like, the slowest deck is a deck that's just going to, like, wait until they get a bunch of combo pieces and then kill you out of nowhere. So, because of that, it feels like the game at the moment is a race. It's just like, rush down your opponent before they rush you down. And there isn't a ton of defensive options to slow that down, which does end up making it feel like the meta right now is a little bit sacky. Because it's like, if you draw your couple of traps and your opponent doesn't pop them, that can just decide the game on the spot. If you find your combo and your opponent doesn't find theirs, that can just decide the game on the spot. So the meta is, like, in an interesting spot. I don't necessarily dislike that style of gameplay. I do think there is a world in which that is just kind of how Rush goes, but I have always preferred it when I have a bit more control over the game. So maybe with the release of Yami Tarasu, we'll see the game slow down a bit. Maybe we won't. Having to think makes me play better, but thinking is boring. I mean, that's kind of what we were just saying, right? If you're just kind of Unga Bunga, OTK, 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 there's not much thinking involved, right? But when you can get a lot of back and forth, things just become a lot more interesting. No think, only play. The meta is extremely sacky. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel at the moment. I feel like a lot of the time, it's not always the better player that wins the game. But in Rush Duels, that's kind of always the case. I just think it is more... it is more pronounced right now. Oh, we're against Prisoner Tomato in the first round. So we will hop over and show you guys the chat in a minute, or the game in a minute, but we might as well get into our game first. So we'll slam that into chat. And then we will send a message to our opponent. And then we can change this over to Duel Links, and then we will wait for it to register. Any second now. There it is. Is that Dewan I see? Welcome, welcome. The meta is whether you negate attack will be popped and theirs will resolve. Yeah, that it's a very big there's a very big sway on the game, a very big determining factor. What's our opponent said to us? Thank you for the room. Nice. All right, like I say, we're not expecting to do well. We're going to do as well as we can, and we're just going to sit here with that. This is a completely untested build. We just like thought about this last night and we just threw it together. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we are probably against Light Galaxy then. And we are going second. I would still rather go first, like no matter what here. Okay, well, how do we want to approach this? I guess we'll start out with All-Seeing Harvey. We'll activate the effect. Let's take a gander at the back row. Okay, it's a Universal Storm. There's not really a lot we can do about that, unfortunately. So we'll Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon this. We will go ahead and activate our skill. Boost this up. Set a fusion. We can activate your effects. We'll flip this up. No. Well then set 1, set 2, go to battle and swing over for 1,000. And then we'll just pass. Now unfortunately we can't really protect this. If he just has, because chances are he didn't set 3 cards. So those 3 cards are probably... They could just all be level 7 vanillas, or it could be like a secret order plus 2 vanillas. And unfortunately we can't really do anything about that. Alright, so he pops our card restoration. That does kind of suck, because that was probably our best option. I mean, this is fine. Like, no matter what, this doesn't change anything. Alright, fingers crossed we get good draws here, because he's almost certainly got 2 high levels in hand. Okay, this is actually not bad. I could just go for double pop and then swing in, or I change both of these to or I change this to defense, attack over that, swing over that, and get a direct attack in. So it comes down to, would I rather have one or t'other, I suppose. I think either way we're setting this. Uh-oh. There we go. We're also going to set this. Is this Duel Links being slow? Because we're definitely clicking these buttons. There's no disconnecting icon in either. I'm not dropping any frames on... Oh, uh-oh. We're still not dropping any frames. This is Duel Links, apparently. Are we? Can we keep playing the game? Are we allowed? Duel Links? Mine is DCing too. This is kind of monka. So I'll Tribute 2 summon. We'll summon out Needlecreep. We will... I could get him for 25, or I could just keep both my bodies, is the options I have here. I think we'll opt to keep the bodies. Getting in for the 25 damage is nice. But, like, I don't need to, like, overextend here. We can activate Kime Luna, change this to defense. No point in changing that one. We'll just go to battle. We'll swing in here. This might end up being the wrong decision, because basically I could have done the same play, ended on a weaker board, because it only would have been 125, popped both of his guys, and just got in for 25 damage. So if that 25 damage really mattered, then it could have been a mistake, but I'm pretty sure he's got 2 level 7s in hand. Turn off your microwave. My microwave is... if my microwave is on when I'm up, you know, when I'm streaming, that's kind of an issue, right? Who's using my microwave? It turns out it's the neighbors. Anyway, let's try and catch up with chat a little bit. Can I see the deck lists anywhere? I mean, we'll show the deck lists after. Hello, worst deck. I hope we're not calling me worst deck, because that I would take that very personally. But hello, Grand. Welcome on in. Jointech made top 8, and both top 4 were mirrors for Cloudy. Yeah, I saw that. It was the coin tech skill, right? The coin flippy one. Alright, so out comes Galactica Oblivion. We have Strange Traveler, ×2. Ooh, why are we reducing that one? We're going to tribute out another guy? So it doesn't matter? Okay. And we set a back row. Ah, this is tricky. So I could let this die, basically to pop the back row. Or we just use the negate attack. Negate attack is like safer, so I think we will go for the negate attack. Because we already have our fusion play ready to go, right? So we'll go ahead and activate Kime Luna. Change both of these to defense. No reason to do this. We'll flip over our fusion. Summon out the Kimiterasu. Activate the effect to destroy 2 defense position monsters. Now, do we summon out that? Probably? So we'll summon. I do kind of want this out of my hand more than anything, to be honest. I don't think we take back the fusion either way, realistically. I'd rather have both of these at the hand. Alright, so unless it's negate attack or it's a legend trap, you won't be able to stop that one. Okay, so we do just win that. Okay, game 1. Game 1! Game 1! Just stop making predictions on decks. The thing is, Grand's predictions are, half of them are like genuine, I think this is what's going to happen, and half of them are like hard memes. So, on one hand, it's hard to gauge, you know, whether it's a meme or whether it's an opinion. And on the flip side, if ever Grand is right or wrong, he can just flip on like, no, that was the meme opinion, so of course it was wrong. I didn't think that was actually bad. Kime Luna turn 1. The issue is, this gets outed so very easily. I think I'm better off just setting and keeping the Kime Luna in hand, and we just hope we don't brick on it. Because, like, losing Kime Luna immediately feels really bad. We have to invest so much to get it out, whereas he can just drop Secret Order and get a guy out. Grand cracked the code. Exactly. It's a very intelligent way to do things. Because you never lose, right? You only wins. Nothing but dubs. The opponent's name is E Tomato. Are they a fellow tomato? Yes, they are. This is Prisoner Tomato, is what they go by on Twitter at the very least. How do we want to approach this? I mean, I could flip this, give it self-piercing, tribute. I can't do the way I want to do it either way. So I could change this to defense, give piercing, swing over it, then I have to give this up, and I don't really want to give this up. So... but are we even going to summon that? Because I could just change all of this to attack. With no good back row to protect her. But then again, I want to get cards out my hand. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this. Tribute 1, Tribute 2, Summon. We'll normal summon All-Seeing Harvey. Activate Harvey's effect. Let's take a quick gander at this one. Okay, so you have a negate attack. Now the question is, will we actually be able to force the negate attack out? So do this and this. We will go ahead and grab the fusion because I don't want to draw into it. I don't think there's a reason to use the fusion here. So we'll just go to battle and we'll just see if we can get something out of him. Okay, there goes the negate attack. So negate attack is gone. That's already pretty big, right? Our board is actually not looking that bad as well. He can't get a ton of damage in, even if he does go for, like, you know, a big Light Galaxy play. The Tomato Derby match. Also, apparently we have ads now, so anyone who has ads, you know, I guess get added on. Oh no, has he still found nothing? That's kinda yikes. So, I can change one of these to attack mode, and then attack over. If we make our big guy, we can get it like 50 something. We could potentially kill. It depends what he's got. So we use this. I think this is probably the weakest guy he's got, realistically. So we'll change this to attack. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate fusion. We'll just make out the Kimiterasu. We don't have to go, like, super crazy here. We'll activate Kimiterasu. Pop 1. Pop 2. I'm quite happy to hold. We don't need to get, like, super crazy. I don't think we need to use you either. So I guess we probably just go for All-Seeing Harvey. Because I like having high defense monsters on the field as well. There's Secret Order there, okay. Just because it does make life a little bit easier. There's no reason to use either of the skills, so we'll just go to battle. We'll swing with this, because this is, like, almost guaranteed, right? And then if he has anything, he'd have to stop one of these, which looks like he doesn't, so we are Gucci currently. We have to fuse for sure. Fusion melts that board. Yeah, it does. So the reason I was thinking about not fusing was because of the way that Shield and Sword interacts with our skill. We could have just changed the guy to attack, used Kime Luna, boosted up to 26, then boosted it again further with Shield and Sword up to 51, which would have got us 4,000 damage in. But I don't think that's better than just clearing everything. So he now knows we have Call of the Earthbound. I don't know if that will change his play at all. It might, because if we get to keep our fusion, that's not very good for him. Is it me or First Dragon level 7 Dark on Rush Duel that can destroy Spell Trap? Could be good those days. Are we talking about, I don't know about Dark. Are we talking about the Earth one? Dragonic Slayer. Okay. We have two big guys now. Unfortunately, Dark Ruler's Battle Slash is not as useful when combined with Kimiterasu. So I could redirect the attack, but to what end? I would force him to crash? would be the end. Because if he does that, well, he has to crash either way, right? So it makes no difference. What are my other back rows? Shield and sword might get stuck on the field. I'll tell you what, let's just let him go. Realistically, we can't protect. Like, it's not happening. We'll just let this all happen. Ah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, this hand just kind of doesn't do anything. We have no way to change a battle position. The issue is, he could get piercing, and then if he attacks over Urashima, we're in a very bad spot. I guess I will activate Shield and Sword, because I just need this gone. We can make room to get this. We'll then set, and set. I think that's the best we've realistically got. I could change something's defense, but it doesn't change anything realistically. Oh, I could have done a play. Ah, but it would have been leaving guys in attack mode. Maybe it would have been worth it? I don't know. Ah, losing that, like, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. We don't have anything to capitalize off at this turn anyway. Only one Yami Ruler? Yes. Okay, so this is where stuff's going to get tricky. I really want him to flip this up. If he doesn't, this way... Oh, he's got double charge. Now, we're just cooked. We're so cooked. There's no way we beat this. Triple meteor charge? Brother in Christ. Alright, we were never winning this, were we? Jesus. What does Essel really do? It does tons. Guess what? You're coming over here. Unfortunately, all we needed was a Kime Tarasu off the top and we were fine, but we didn't get it, so it didn't matter. That was just unfortunate. The issue is, so the reason we're only playing one Yami Ruler is because we're playing triple Kime Luna, and playing 5 boss monsters is just begging to brick. Realistically, if you're playing 5 boss monsters with no ways to plus in the deck, if you're not bricking, you're just getting lucky. So I do not subscribe to that being the optimum ratios, put it that way. Ugh. I don't think we're holding on to this either way. Okay, we'll just sit on this. This is probably fine. Gives you free materials, sets up Grave for Star Restart, fuels Warrior returning alive. Essel is good, exactly. The thing is, if you don't get the fusion into the graveyard, Star Restart is a straight minus. Ow. Very rude. Okay, how do we want to approach this? How lucky do we think our opponents got? Let's face it, our opponents always get very lucky. So we'll flip this up. We will normal summon Essel. We will activate Piercing Samurai. We'll give Piercing to Harvey. We'll Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon this. Then... Is there a reason to fuse? I don't really think so. So I think we're just going to summon this. Activate the skill. Do this and this. We will set the fusion because we don't want to draw into it. We'll set this. We will activate Kime Luna, and we'll change this to defense. And then he just won't have drawn Negate Attack in the open 2 games in a row. See? Easy. Did we miss lethal? Did we just miss lethal? We could have popped that with that. There would have been the exact same damage? No. We were fine then. Yeah. It would have been 100 less damage. Secret Order. Astro with 5 bosses seems even better though. I mean, again, if you high roll, yeah. If you don't high roll, no. You knew that was fusion, so you actively... Okay, we have double Universe Storm, that's why. I mean, losing card restoration is, like, fine. It's not great, but it's fine. You're -1 if you have to keep a brick boss in hand either way, so better to unbrick and draw. Well, the flip side is you just don't brick on bosses, right? By playing less bosses, which is what I've done. So it's like I don't have to make that decision. Alright, can we find... Hello. So it will come down to... If we just make our guy, that basically locks him up, right? And he can't do anything. I could make both, but like I don't think it makes any real difference. So I think I'd rather just not waste it. So I think we will just do this. No, I think this is fine. It could make a big difference though if he has a negate attack and then he flips. Not keeping a higher statted monster could really punish me. It'd have to be exactly like negate attack TTTD, but like there is a chance that happens. Okay, we will tribute these two. We'll summon this. Normal summon. Activate guidance. Grab out the fusion. Activate fusion. So this basically says that the only thing he can stop me with is exactly negate attack. Victory. Right, well we did manage to get the win. So 2-1. We submit the score. And then we'll go and take a look at how the rest of the bracket is looking. But first we'll see if our opponent responds to us. They said something. What did they say? Thank you for the match. Love all the Japanese players. They're so nice. Right, we have another game straight away. We'll hop into that one. Has our opponent given us anything yet? No, they haven't. So we will open this up. Once we can. So this has to change to this to hide that. So I can go back in here. I can then grab this. My opponent has already made a room, so I'm going to have to go and join his room. Dual room. Enter room. Back code. Participate as a member. Sign up to the game. And then we'll see what his message was. He said, thank you. And then we'll finish talking to our opponent. We're going to prioritize that. And then we'll change the screen so you guys can see in just a second. There we go. All right. Looks like we're going to be in the mirror. Let's see what we draw. This is not a bad open, all things considered. Let's see what our opponent has for us. Hello, Mr. Tomato. Hope you're doing well and you win this tournament. Waltz Master, you're going to have to remind me when this tournament is over and we will sort out you changing the game map. Because we're not going to do it mid-tournament. We might do it if we have a gap. Or, you know, when we lose this game. That's also fine. Okay. How do we want to do this? I could just pop his guy, go in for 25, or... Alternatively, we can just tribute 2, flip that. We'd have to summon out this is the only issue, or give up the Needlecree. I don't really want to give up the Needlecree. We'll tribute 1, tribute 2, summon this. We'll flip this up. We're going to go ahead and activate Kimi Luna. We're going to flip this up. I think that's the play here. All things considered, this is looking quite good for us. We'll activate our skill. Select both of these. Go to battle. I guess we'll attack with this first because this plays around like some shenanigans. And then we'll pass. Okay, I mean, so far this is going quite well. I just want anything other than the Tristan mat. Yeah, someone very specifically wanted this Tristan mat on Tuesday. I think the boss ratios and cards like Starry Start are player preference, not necessarily deck optimization. I think there will always be ways to optimize deck. There will, like, mathematically be a better way to do it. As for what that exactly is, I couldn't tell you. The thing that I'm always reminded of is, in the Aqua deck, the Bubble Era deck, people would play 3 Aqua bosses and then 1 Alligator to fix their ratios, and that deck had multiple ways to plus, right? You had ways to get cards back from the graveyard, which, to be fair, might be a reason why you'd play fewer boss monsters, because you can just get them back from the graveyard with Nyan Nyan. But you could also plus off of Shiny... What's Shiny Shady? What was she called? Bastion of Faith. And you also had Seahorse to also get cards back. And that deck's still bricked. So I'm just, like, trying my best to, like, avoid that at all costs, basically. Is that Sean, I see? Welcome, welcome. Remember, the second part of your skill is an out to Yami Locks. Now, we just take it. We'll just take the Yami Lock. That's fine. We'll just let him kill us. Ooh. Starry Start brings that back. So are we going to fuse? So this is like, this is kind of Monka because he gets to just pop these 2, which turns off a lot of our stuff. Basically, we only have a card restoration live now. But we obviously are still in a really good position. He's still low on life points. He has very few resources left. So if we just find any boss, we are golden. And we're going to have basically a 6-card hand going into the next turn. Alright, here comes the fusion. Kimitarasu, the Divine Luna, comes out. Almost certainly just going to pop 2 cards. Pop, pop. Which is like, it's not great for us, right? Realistically, but... that back row is now the scary thing. Behold, card restoration. Oh, there's a boss. That's very unfortunate, though, that we've drawn just that one. Ah, you kidding me? Really? 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 Alright. If I change this thing's defense to 800 and then swap them around, how does that resolve? It would become 800. The original defense becomes 800. So I could change that, summon this, and then attack into it. So I'd have to summon... Alright, so we have to do this first, right? Why is my music stopped? What's going on, music? Try reshuffling that. Right, so I can change this. Then I can summon this, theoretically. Activate this. Everything's looking good so far. I guess I just set this. Please? No! No! The last card he had! The very last one! Guys, this ain't looking good. This ain't looking good. I would have set the shield and sword crap. I mean, maybe it was the correct decision, but the way I looked at it was, if this thing did die, so if he had slime, he would have survived this attack, and then this is more useful on the crackback, right? On top of, if shield and sword resolves, I put sword and shield resolves, I put shield and sword back to my hand, which I do want to do, but if I did do that, I would draw one less card, so I would just opt to not do that. Bruh, I cannot believe how unlucky we're getting here. Why didn't you use the skill before shield and sword? We did use the skill before shield and sword. What are you talking about, Quantum? Okay, so Yami Ruler comes out. That's fine-ish. I saw 1400 attack. Yeah, we used the skill to weaken his attack down to 800. I'm just saying, we drew 6 cards and drew absolutely ass in a situation where we had to draw absolutely nothing was the only way we lost the game. And bro is just hard drawn a fusion. This is not going well, lads. We are getting a little bit sacked here. Unfortunately as well, he now has 2 level 9s as well, which means our guys don't do anything. So we can reduce his attack by 400 and then still die. That's the situation we find ourselves in. On the plus side, no matter what we did there, we couldn't win that game. There was literally no possible way to win that game. We just got sacked. That's all that was. So, fingers crossed. Some people have really, like, slow devices. I always, like, leave it a bit, because I'm like, okay, you should be out of the game by now. Alright. Alright, we just need to not brick again. Do you play back row removal? So the only back row removal we're playing in this build is the Dark Ruler Slash. Again, this is not meant to be a super competitive build. This is like a fun build we're trying out. I mean, this is a hand. This isn't like we got 5 cards out of our hand, so we can't complain too much. But since we're not on Star Restart, losing these really hurts. Like, really hurts. And our opponent goes second and just opens Essel and mills Kime Luna. Bro, I just want to play the game, not this sacky bullshit. What the fuck? Come on. Am I really just getting sacked out of this tournament? Come on, bro. We were in a situation last game where the only possible way we lost was that he had to have hard drawn negate attack off the top, and then we had to brick, and those 2 things exactly happened. And now we're in a situation where he just gets to pop off and do whatever the heck he wants. This is really not good. The problem is now he can flip both of these up, and they both have 0 attack. So it's like we're almost now forced to use negate attack. And that's just gone so early. I mean, this is lethal damage, so I can't not use it. I literally don't have a choice here. And the other issue is I now need to find an out to this, otherwise I'm just dead. Like, if I can't out this, then that's it. So if he has a negate attack back there that stops me from outing him, we just cooked, yo. So we can make the boy. We can't change his battle. Well, I mean, we could with that. Comes down to do we want to. Alright, well, normal summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. There's no real reason to do anything else other than this. Well, I suppose if we want to use this, we'd have to do it now. I could change that to defense. But if I did, I wouldn't be able to capitalize off it anyway, right? Oh no, I still had to kill it, I suppose. So we'll go Seraph. Activate Seraph. Change this. Activate Fusion. Go 1, 2. Summon out Yamiterasu. Activate the effect. I mean, that's kind of a sucky loss there, but it's whatever. So if we're just attacking over that, then the piercing just doesn't matter. So we'll just summon out Harvey. Take a gander at one of his back row. Oh. I mean, we have this back row, so maybe we'll be fine. Right, we'll just go to battle. We'll swing into this. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. So he still has 2 cards in hand. They're probably both normal summons. Three Rhythmical and NA? What the heck are you playing against? I mean, NA makes sense. Oh, Iceark. Okay. Iceark. Maybe it's Iceark Fusion. So, Yamiterasu is nice, right? But, if he just has a Kimiterasu play, he just summons the Kimiterasu in defense and pops our Yamiterasu. So, it will stop us from potentially dying, but he'll still be able to do his play and end on a 3k defense body, which is super spooky. Set, pass. Okay. That is an incredible draw. That is actually insane. So I'll go Celestial Guidance. Target this. Yeah, sure, we'll set a fusion. Out you come. Set this. Watch that last card be the 1400 defender. And I just get, like, really sad. I guess it's gotta be you. If I want to clear the board. We'll use his effect again. Go to battle. If it has low defense. Nah, I need 200. Okay, our back row's looking okay. It's not a fantastic back row, but it's like, it's okay. The issue again is a Kimiterasu play still outs this board very easily, and then we need to draw an out. So this did put a clock on the game, but our hand is kind of bricked up. So if we're only going to get 3 draws, which means the chance of us seeing... We still have 2 copies of Kimiterasu in our deck. Ooh. Bro is playing Buster Blader. I respect it. I respect it. Activates the Star Restart. Loses a card from hand. Brings out the defense mode, Celestial Seamstress. Then summons Masaki. I'm assuming we're about to see a tribute. We're not. So here we activate this. And we just direct it into here. Victory! I mean, I think it was... We were hard-pressed to actually lose that one. But... I see he got out of the game really quickly there. Alright. 1-0. We just need to not brick. Come on, deck. We can do this. Just no brick, please. Fingers crossed. I want to make it to the next round of the tournament. We won the coin flip. That's good. That is a good thing. That's an okay hand. It's slightly worse now, but we'll take it. I'm not a huge fan of opening Negate Attack, but I don't think our opponent's played Avian yet, so I don't think in the last 2 games we've seen any copies of it. Celestial Warrior top tier confirmed. Yeah, in the mirror, it has a 100% win rate. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. It has a 50% win rate. So this time he has milled the Celestial Seamstress, but no boss. So this open is already worse than his last open. I mean, our open was also worse than our last open. Oh, look at all those huge butts on our monsters. Oh, we don't even give a crap about you. If you were going to do that, why put it in defense mode? You should have known you were going to do that ahead of time. Piercing Samurai, okay, yeah. Use it on itself. Get in for a maximum of 200 damage. We're going to tribute? I was going to say, there's no reason to tribute here. Okay. I will allow it. Aha! Alright, what are we drawing? Hopefully not just a shit ton of normals. So we can't actually do a ton here. Summoning out the Yami is like nice, but he can clear it so easily with the skill. The alternative is that we just summon the Yami and attack. What does that get me? Maybe I force out a back row? Getting rid of that's also going to be quite important. Our attack values that we have access to aren't super great. We're probably just going to summon out the Yami. I'm not super thrilled about it, but we're probably going to be attacking with the Yami as well. Because again, he could just out it so easily, no matter what, realistically. I could change his battle positions, but again, I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Actually, it kind of does, but then I'll be left with 1,000 attack monster. Okay, we're just going to tribute these two. This is the line we're going to go with. We'll summon Harvey, activate Harvey. Let's take a look at this one. Look at that, guys. It's Negate Attack. Maybe we'll get his Negate Attack then. We'll summon. We'll go ahead and activate his effect. Oh, that is a really bad one. And then I'm going to change your defense. We will then go to battle. We will have a little swing. I just want him to use his Negate Attack. That is my current goal. Get him to use Negate Attack. Okay, we got him to use the Negate Attack. So, he can freely Tribute Summon, right? That's something that is now... he is allowed to do. The flip side would have been that he just makes our defense 800 and attacks over it anyway. Now, that would delay him a little bit. You know, he is the delayer. But, realistically, I don't think it really changes much. That's right. I'd have to, like, really sit down and think about it to actually work out if it was better or not. Is the stream playlist public? Some of the songs in here are just Bangers. It is not a public playlist, but I can link it to you if you want. Okay. We have piercing. My guess is we're digging to find something to bring back. Like, we must have like a monster reincarnation, or... Like, what else could we be looking for? It's got to be monster reincarnation. Like, what else could it be? This song is too relaxed for this situation. We should be tense. This is also too relaxed. There we go. So we did already have this. What were we milling for then? We trying to like hyper high roll? Okay, we're going to defense mode. I respect it. Are we going to go for the double pop? Probably should. Here comes the fusion. So we fuse into the Kimitarasu. Double pop, I would assume. Still 4 cards in hand is the scary part. I suppose that's just the power of negate attack, right? He just got to keep 3 more cards than he otherwise would have. I mean, we shouldn't die here. Shouldn't being the key part of that phrase. Avian spell tactics don't win the 50-50, please! Okay. Oh. Whew. That could have been absolutely catastrophic. Now, he still could have another one. I think we just take all of this. Like, this damage is kind of fine. That, less okay. I can't change it to defense mode, so I can't do anything here. Ugh. Do I just have to summon everything face up? Just because otherwise they'll just get popped by this anyway? There's like no good play. I think I have to summon them all face up. Just so they don't get popped, and then rely on my back row to keep me alive. So this forces him to do something a bit weird. He still could quite easily do everything he wants to do. Because he can use this effect, take back Kime Luna, tribute both, summon out Kime Luna, change 2 of my guys to defense, then make a second Kimitarasu, pop the 2 that are in defense, attack. That is like a line he has access to. But this now forces him to do that instead of anything else. Like, otherwise he would just do it for free. Okay, so you get to do this anyway. You just hard drew into what you needed anyway, so it didn't matter. So now we are entirely reliant on our trap card to keep us in this. Just don't have avian spell tactics. And then we're fine. We still need to draw into a boss though. And we're only going to have 1 body on the board, so... We still have 2 bosses in deck. We're getting 5 draws per turn, at least. Don't worry, Seraph of Darkness has got our back. Oh, God. Are we making another one? We're just tributing? Imagine having the luxury of your hand being so good that you can just summon out your bosses and then tribute them off and not even care. Oh my God. Brother in Christ. I swear, all 3 games, our opponent has had absolutely cracked hands and we are just barely getting by. Well, we can't even use our card restoration because we'll just die. We need to draw such a specific hand here, I think. Behold, a negate attack. That was a good thing we held that. Come on, he is so open. Oh, has he already used it? He's already used negate attack. Alright, how do we do this? How do we win this? We can summon, use the fusion, change them both to defense, pop both of them, get them for 25? Is there no better way to do this? If we use that, we can boost our own attack up to 51, get in for 21. That's not going to cut it. So I think we do have to do just the fusion play. I don't think anything else will work. So I'll summon out Harvey. Activate Harvey. Take a little peek. That's a start restart. That's kind of spooky. We'll summon out Urashima. We did need exactly one of our last two Kime Luna and the Needle Quarry to get this to work. So we'll grab this. Normal summon. Activate the fusion. Make this. 1, 2. Is there a reason to put this in defense mode? Getting it for 25 is nice. What does it actually do for me here? If it's in defense, I actually have a chance that it lives. Oh no, because if it's in defense, it'll just change its defense to bloody 800, so there's no even real point in doing that. It's so annoying how this deck, like, counters itself. Alright, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll set this. Then we'll get him for 25. You have 11 cards, you have to deal damage. The thing is, because we have Kime Tarasu, if we could put this in defense and have a higher chance of it living, it just lets us pop 2 of his defense mode monsters. So we always have only 1 monster in the way maximum. If he puts things in attack mode, we can already get damage in future anyway, right? That's the logic. The issue is we know he has Star Restart, so he instantly just has access to Fusion and... Well, he always has access to Fusion. 1, 2... He has 1 Kime Tarasu left and however many Yamis he's running. Is that a 15 streak? Welcome on in, JD Scrub. Also, hello, Monosync, the classic tournament experience. Oh yeah, Mono. Yesterday, what knocked you out of the tournament? It was Elsilis? Do you remember what deck he was playing? You can't use the Yami Trap. So the Yami Trap specifically says when you have targeting a face-up warrior type monster. So I can't use it with this, no. This is here just to be a bluff. So it's basically all on card restoration to keep us in this. Like Galaxy. Okay, I assumed it was, but I didn't want to like put misinformation in. And we have Warrior Returning Alive. Okay. That is a weird choice. We already have the boss in hand? Oh, we just needed to get it out? Ooh. Guys, we did it. We will take it. We will take it. Let's see what he said. Let's see what he said. It's probably going to be like just like really friendly because the Japanese players are all so nice. They're all so unbelievably nice. Thank you for the match. Aww. Aww. Alright, let's go and take another look at the bracket. and see how we're doing. So our next opponent is ready. So we can just go straight into yet another game. Hey, we made top 8, lads. We've done it. We'll take that. Alright, let's jump into this game. See what our opponent is saying. Do we have to make the room? Do they make the room? What's going on? He hasn't posted a room. He has posted a room. Okay, so leave the room. We'll bring this up again. So y'all can't spy on my room code. PvP arena. Dual room. Enter room. Join in the room. Sign up to the game. Translate his message. He said, thank you. All right. Baka Gaijin. Oh, could you imagine? Because the best part is, it would be translated just a stupid foreigner, and I'd be like, oh, my perception of the Japanese community is now gone. By the way, Quantum, since you're here, if you wanted to tell me what got top 8 in your tournament, because I'm missing 2 players from the Quantum Rush. We'll set, and set. I mean, winning the coin toss. I think this is like 3 games in a row we've won the coin toss, which is quite nice. I can't complain about going first 3 games in a row. Also, I should probably, you know, get rid of this screen so you can actually see what's happening. That might help. Let's see what Sean is saying to us. Nice to meet you. I'm Kaijin Dunamara, and I'm a major teacher. You're a major teacher? That sounds cool. So no piercing. So we're kind of big chillin'. Let's go with a card restoration. Now, unfortunately, we can't use double card restoration. That's not allowed. Boop. Shield and sword could go kind of hard, but we still need to find a boss. That's not a boss. So I could change this thing's defense. Then use the shield and sword. Then summon out my guys. I have to make sure I do this in a very specific order. So we're going to activate our skill. We're going to change this guy's defense. Then I'm going to summon Seraph of Darkness. Then we're going to activate Shield and Sword. We're then going to set 1, set 2. We'll summon out the Harvey. And here, I think we're just going to summon out the Essel. We should activate Harvey. Take a look at this. Galactica Force. Okay, that's good to know. We'll just go straight to battle and we'll swing. And then get in for 11. And then we'll pass. 2 Worm, 2 Metarian, 2 Sidra, 2 Galaxy. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you letting me know, because it lets me keep up to date with the spreadsheet. And I'm a filthy, disgusting statistician who needs to keep track of the spreadsheet and make everything look really pretty. So it was a Metarian and a Cyber Dragon that I did not know. So we sent Galactica Oblivion, added order, activate order, bring back this hunky chunky man. Then what? We're on 6-6, so we're feeling pretty good right now. Wasn't it better to use card restoration on the second attack so he won't know about the other cards? Well, yes. But, that kind of sucks. But, it also did hide the fact that I have a card restoration, right? Kind of. No, it wouldn't have made any difference at all, really. No, you're right, Dwan. It was 100% better to do it that way. There is no argument whatsoever that I could formulate. Behold, card restoration! Bro, where the boss monsters at? We've gone halfway through the deck. If we don't draw a boss here, we are in a very bad spot. We are in a very bad spot. Yeah. This is not going well. The issue is, we're going to draw all of our bosses all at once. That's always what happens when this sort of situation occurs. We're going to draw like 2 or 3 next turn. So an average Thunder day, basically. Rest in peace, Thunder. Oh. Oh, sir. He had a delay, by the way. He would have had a delay, knowing this one could have been activated. Maybe he just wasn't looking, because we did toggle off, but he could always still just look up here. Maybe he just wasn't paying attention. You run 4 bosses, you don't get to ask them only when you want them. You say that, like statistically you shouldn't have a boss in the top 16 cards of your deck, Manicus. You don't get to play that card. If you genuinely believe that, you're an idiot. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, statistically, we should be seeing 1 every 7.5 cards. So we should have already found 2, and we should be well on our way to our 3rd boss by now. So, Meteor Charge is going to go pretty hard here, but we should be relatively okay. He'd need like... Oh, he's got 2. This could be kind of spooky. Double Meteor Charge. With only 1 boss, though. Like, none of our guys have low defense or low attack. So basically, nothing's changed here. We kind of won the lottery in that this got flipped up and this got remain left face down. I'm an idiot, but also a winner. I mean, you did win. You did win with this deck. So I cannot take that away from you, no matter how much I want to. Ooh, is this lethal? 900. Yeah, this has got to be lethal. There's no way this isn't lethal. This is well over lethal. I am just mega dead. Well, we'll let him finish us off. Ah. Ah. Well, considering we went 16 cards deep with 0 bosses, I don't think that could have gone any better, realistically. Alright. We did go first that game, but we didn't find any bosses, so that really let us down. Hopefully we can go first and find bosses. We don't really want a boss in the open. Right, we're going second, which is really bad against the super aggro rush deck. Now, obviously, they can't do their combo on turn 1. Their skill doesn't work on turn 1, right? But they still get to amass a bunch of face-down cards, which is still really good. Well, we do have Essel. If we can just hit a boss off the Essel, we should be fine. I mean, that is a boss. So we go Essel, activate Essel. As long as you don't hit just double spell trap. I think this always goes in attack mode. So now we can do a couple of different things here. I almost would rather just keep... I almost don't want to fuse. I could just flip 2 up, attack over them. Because that lets me keep a stronger board. So we always set fusion here because we don't want to draw into it. We always set. Now, it's do we pop? If we fuse, we only have 2 monsters left. We get them for like 25, plus like a little bit of piercing. I think we're not. I think we're just going to do this. Summon out Piercing Sam. Activate Piercing Samurai. I think it has to be itself. We're then just going to go battle. And we'll swing in. Why did I do itself? I had no idea why I did itself. It doesn't really make any difference. It depends how much defense this has got. Okay. Yeah, in my head, I was like, well, I need the Piercing Sam to clear... He can't get over the 12s. That's to hit the defense. But I was like, no, he has an 11, so I could just hit over that. So that also would have just been fine. The downside is he knows which one of these two is fusion. His deck plays 3 back row hate. The chances that he has a back row hate is pretty much spot on. He should have a back row hate statistically. So we're probably going to lose that. He had the perfect going first hand. Oh yeah, he got to set 5. Which is pretty good. Has the order. He might have a charge back here. The only thing we're really worried about is Universal Storm. If he doesn't have Universal Storm, we are in such a ridiculously good spot. If he does have Universal Storm, our position feels a lot weaker. Just don't have Universal Storm. Just don't have it. Just don't have Storm. 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 Fuck! Yeah. Goodbye, negate attack. Okay, I mean... We have a 15, so to clear that, he's going to need a Transam, or he's going to need another Order, or he's going to need... Ooh, is he going to have Transam and Efrai? Transam and Efrai is not the end of the world, because this still has to crash. Right, there's Charge. Does that matter? The fact he's used Charge this early seems actually a bit weird. Straight to battle. So that's Charge gone. Can we just find a boss? We found a boss. I mean, we just win now, right? We summon, get this out, use the effect, change both to defense, fuse, pop both, normal summon, attack, game. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effect. Go Fusion. Go into Kimetarasu. And we just need to make sure we don't click the wrong effect, and then everything is fine. Swing 1. Swing 2. Okay, now we just need to win game 3. Now we just need to not brick. That's been our downside. The only games we've actually lost so far... Actually, that's not true. I think one game we didn't actually, like, quote-unquote brick. It was just our opponent had, like, absolutely cracked. But most of our losses during this tournament so far have been, like, we don't draw any bosses, or we draw too many bosses. Let's see what happens here. He has high levels in hand. He really drew into 4 high levels. I mean, it kind of balances out a little bit, but like still drawing 4 of your 6 is absolutely catastrophic, right? Like you can't really deal with that in any meaningful way. All right. We managed to win the coin toss. Now we just need to find bosses. That is our current objective. It's one of those things where I don't know if I'd rather have too many bosses or too few bosses. On one hand, too few bosses means you can't play the game. On the other hand, too many bosses means you can't play the game. I guess it depends what you're against. There's a lot of decks that can't really kill you very quickly through set 3. So if you're having too few bosses, you can kind of get away with that. But the game where we drew a ton of bosses, where we actually had way too many spell traps. And that was the game where we lost to... He just made like double fusion, right? Okay, so this is on the field now. He's going to pop our back row, which it sucks, but like that's also kind of fine. Like losing card restoration is not the end of the world. Activates a second order. So if he has Meteor Charge and hits the right one, this is super scary. Oh, just please do not change my 0 attack monster. Anything but that. We have a 66% chance this goes in our favor. Okay. We will take that. We will take that. Having an extra 1,000 life points could be a massive, massive difference in this matchup. Alright, we just need a strong hand here. Ah. If he draws any of his bosses, I think we'd just die. Are we just screwed? Are we just screwed? We can make one of his guys have low enough defense that we can kill over it with shield and sword. And then we don't do anything. What does clearing one of these do? Nothing. If he draws Meteor Charge, even in a best case scenario, I think we just die. So if he draws Meteor Charge or any of his level 7s, which he has quite a high chance to do, he's got 6 cards left in deck that do that. I could clear one of these, but it doesn't make any difference. Meteor Charge would still cook us. 2,000 life points is just too low for it to matter. The 1,100 plus like 900. I mean, there is a chance. But if I leave a guy in attack mode, then I think I'm cooked either way. If I leave a guy... I think if I leave a guy in attack, I'm just dead to, like, anything. Even if I make it, like... Because it's be an 800 attack, then just a Meteor Charge would kill me anyway. I think we're going to do this. We're going to hope. I think that's the best we have, is just hoping. So our best case is that he finds a Meteor Charge and he flips this, and then we have two 1400s that can soak the second hit. If that doesn't exactly happen, we're just cooked either way. Because if I set 2000s and he finds Meteor Charge, if he flips up the 1000 guy, he'd get 13 in, and then he'd get another 13 over the defense. Whereas here, he would only get 9 in. Oh, but it's still 13, so I'd still be dead anyway. Yeah, I don't think it made any difference what we set. I think that's fine. That doesn't change anything. If he has Universal Storm, if he has any way to get to Meteor Charge, we're just dead no matter what. Oh, okay. We live a turn. This gives us 3 more chances. 3 more chances to find a boss that we can summon. / good back row. I mean, that is good back row. Now the issue is, that's our last Needlecree. So do we just give it up? We have no way to get it back in this deck, this build we're playing. I think I have to give it up. I think I have to give it up. I'm not happy about it. But if he doesn't find Meteor Charge or any way to get us game, we can preserve Buffered Slime. Or if he just pops our Buffered Slime, we would still be able to survive with this. So I think you always have to do this. Right, Galactica Order, that gets him to Meteor Charge. Now just don't pop our slime, and we are okay. Straight to battle? Okay, so that is our last one of those gone, which does kind of suck, but at the same time. Alright, let's go card restoration. Bruh! What the fuck? I mean, that's one way to get one back, I suppose. Christ. Activate All-Seeing Harvey. Let's take a look. Summon Urashima. Activate Urashima. Put this back. Yeah, sure. If I summon the Yami and change it to defense, all he has to do is tribute over his guys, and then he can activate Secret Order and kill. So I think we do just go for a Kimi. Boost its attack up. I think we have to try and get damage in. Like, I can't win this game slowly, realistically. And like we say, if he has a tribute monster in hand, he can just tribute over and make room anyway. So, like, leaving him all, like, clogged up doesn't do anything. We only play 4 high levels in the deck, by the way. We drew all of them all at the same time. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. But now he knows exactly which card to hit if he has a Universal Storm. Like, he knows. I hate when you get 4 in hand. Happens a lot. I mean, this is why we cut down to 4, because we kept yesterday opening hands with 2, 3, or 4 of them in hand. If you use Yami really can't tribute, right? Oh, you're right, Dwan. I was just being an idiot. But we do know that this face down card is Galactica Force. So, although I was still an idiot because I didn't think of that, he does have Galactica Force. Yeah, as Mr. Badtime said. So, it still would have gotten us cooked anyway. So, getting the 1,000 damage in is probably still the better play regardless. The issue is we have no way to refill our deck, and it's going to take us several turns to, like, unbrick this. Watch us as well. I'm going to call it now. Buffered Slime is going to mill our 1 copy of Needle Curry in the deck. That's going to happen. I'm calling it. I don't really know what to do. Well, I mean, we're just going to keep doing this. Another 1,000, please? That's very rude. Guys, I don't think this is going very well. Don't you play TSA? No, not in this build. We couldn't fit it. We've got so many traps in the deck. Not to mention, TSA would not help us here. Like, TSA straight up would not help us. Like, putting cards back in the deck, great, but, like, it still doesn't fix the hand. Bro! What? The game's just over, right? We literally now cannot draw enough. If we had a monster here, we could have set it. Use that to protect and then set another one, then tributed next them on the following turn. Now, there's nothing we can do. There's straight up literally 0 plays. Yeah, this is this is just dumb luck. There's nothing we could have done about this. I mean, it sucks, but what can you do, eh? Yeah, he knows exactly which one's fusion, so he just hits the other one. I mean, you literally cannot make this up, right? You cannot make this up. We're just so hard bricked. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Well, let's say thanks for the game. Boo! Boo! Rip. Rip. I also bricked when they were streaming me. I think that was the second game that we were streamed. I mean, to be fair, we did brick twice. Like, our game 1 against him, we didn't have any high-level monsters. And our game 3 against him, we had all of our high-level monsters. What's the remaining decks? Well, we've literally been playing this whole time, so we haven't been having a look. Let's get this up. Jump over... Oh, that's wrong. We'll grab this. Throw that into there. Make this big. And then we're going to change it over to... that one. Top 8 still good? I mean, top 8's good. It's just... I always find it personally... So, I find different people have different opinions, right? If you lose because you made a mistake, some people are like, I hate that more because I should have known better. And other people are like, well, I don't mind losing because of bad luck because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm always kind of like, man, I just want the RNG to go, like, balanced. That's kind of my ideal. Is I don't mind losing if my opponent, like, plays better, if I make a mistake. That's on me. When I lose and it wasn't my fault, or at least when it feels like it wasn't my fault. Because I think there is also a difference between when it is actually your fault and when it feels like it's your fault. So sometimes it will be your fault, but it won't feel like it was your fault. And therefore it won't hurt as much. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those weird things. I say hurt like it actually fucking matters. But let's see who else is in the top 8. So Gozu has made top 4. Gozu is in this game. It's been a while since we've seen Gozu like popping off. He actually did okay in a tournament yesterday as well. We have Yuke got knocked out in the semis. The other final game is already up. Like the other finalist is waiting. So this is the only game remaining. Everyone got through this bracket so quickly. It's only half 2. Surprised that Gozu is doing so well on Metarian, because I think he's been playing Metarian like the whole time since it came out, and yet he hasn't been like having particularly good finishes. But now, bam, here he is in top 4. So we're going to activate the skill. Who are we sending? Are we sending Footman or are we sending Bossman? Okay, we send the Galactica Oblivion. Grabbing the Secret Order. So does that mean we already have Meteor Charge, or are we just not charging? Because this matchup can be really spooky. If you commit to a big board like this, you really want Meteor Charge, because you need to get damage in ASAP. Otherwise, you're just inviting Beam OTK. Probably because everyone's on Warrior deck. Yeah, but, like, is Metarian particularly good into Warriors? So, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, Warriors hard counters Metarion, but what I am saying is I don't think that's, like, a free matchup for them. I mean, we saw yesterday, right? Didn't you beat Metarion in the finals? Okay, so we get to use the reactor to Pot of Greed. God, it's so ridiculous. Look at this man's hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He has 11 cards to play with. 11 cards is insane. That is more than if you just set your hand, none of it got destroyed, and then you draw 5 for turn. That is one more than that. This is actually obscene to be able to have this many cards to work with. So, what is Gozu thinking about? He's trying to work out why he hasn't drawn a fusion. He's looking at his hand. He's like, I'm 14 cards deep. How have I not drawn fusion yet? This deck sucks. Why do people say my deck's overpowered? I haven't even seen fusion. I can't play the game. Type change beam. Uh-oh. Oh, it's warrior. I hope that back row's good. Else this might be about to end. So out comes the Ashura Star effect, yoinky yoinky, all that attack points up to 85. So is that not lethal? Because that's 59? Right? Be 1,000 off. Or is that 69? God, my math skill. Ugh. Okay, well this is definitely lethal through anything other than exactly. I think it actually has to be exactly negate attack. Yeah, there we go. That's just game. Yeah, it was 6-9. God, I really should not have that much trouble thinking about basic mathematics, but this is the world we live in. So yeah, that was a turn 3 OTK by Metarion. So pretty standard, Or he's drawn beam and he's having a laughing fit. I mean, it turns out, Manicust, he was having the laughing fit. So let us see what he has for us. We're going to set. T-set! He's opened 3 high levels! I mean, to be fair, he did this something similar against us, but then it was on, like, a further turn. I don't know if it's worse to do it in the opening or, like, your second turn. If you do it in the opening, you can get punished on turn 1, which kind of sucks. If you do it on a later turn, it means your opponent's already had a turn of setup, which means they can, like, really set up, right? Because when you first make a board, it's not necessarily the strongest board you can make. If you've already got a board and then you draw a new hand of 5, there's a good chance you make that board even better, but there's also a good chance you just pass. Love Metarion, so much fun playing that deck. Now, do you mean playing with it or playing against it? That's my next question, CZ. Also, welcome on in, CZ. Semi-Ruler over Yami Ruler. Semi-Ruler is kind of just bad, if we're being honest. Oi, Tomato. How is the turnout for Semi-Ruler? How is the turnout for Semi-Ruler? Are you saying, like, how many people are playing this deck in this tournament? Because I have no idea. We played against one. I don't know who else brought it. We haven't really been able to spectate because we were playing until top 8. I don't even know what's on the other side of the bracket. I have no idea. Well, behold the other side of the coin when it comes to Metarion, the 1400 vanilla beatdown deck. Now, Light Galaxy would kind of like to go aggressive here, but saying that, Light Galaxy would like to go aggressive just all the time, right? I see, well, at least you brought it out. Oh, yeah. I mean, the build that we brought it was good. I think it was fine. Like, it's like we were saying, the only games we realistically lost were the games where we opened too many spell traps, too many bosses, or not enough bosses, right? So we bricked on every side of the spectrum, right? We bricked in every way there is possible to brick. So, unfortunately, when you brick in 3 different ways, it becomes difficult to gauge what you want to change in the deck. Because it's like, oh, if we kept bricking on too many monsters, or too many high levels, we take out some high levels. If we kept bricking on not having enough high levels, we put more high levels in. If we kept bricking on spell traps, we just take some of those out. But we bricked in all 3 ways, which unfortunately does not give us very much information to go off of. Pretty sure I got the first tournament win with the new Yami 2, same day of release. Yes, unfortunately, that does have negative connotations attached to it. And what that means is people don't know how to play against it yet. People don't know what the best build of the deck is yet. Like, when we take a look at the data for the first few weeks, we were seeing, like, Cyber Dragon doing well, Elemental Heroes doing well, Vulcan did well, Spellcasters won a tournament. And then as people started to adjust to what the meta was, all of those things started changing. Cyber Dragon started winning a hell of a lot less after the first week. Spellcasters never quite got back to their former glory. Elemental Heroes fell off like a cliff. So it's like, winning in the early stages, I think, is less prestigious than if you win, like, when the meta is already settled. But, you know, a win is a win is a win. No one can take away your win. You still got your prize money. You still get to have the title of the first person to win with the deck. This is a weird game. So we summoned it in defense. Why did we summon it in defense? We don't want to attack, I guess, in case... What was the reason to not attack? Because if he summons out 2 bosses, he just kills? But if he summons out Vitristar, he can put it into attack anyway. I'm trying to piece this together. What was the scary thing? If he has Ashura Star, he could get him for 28 and then anything kills. If he has TCB. What other reason would there be to have it in defense? If we summoned out the dinosaur? I don't know if most people are still even playing Glaciosaurus. Now, playing into this meta with sack everywhere was an achievement in itself. I mean, as long as you're happy. In my opinion, an early win is prestigious for the player, but not for the deck. I mean, I think that's a good way to put it as well, Hans. You managed to find the path through the chaos. I wish I knew what the other side of the bracket looked like. I mean, we'll find out what the top 4 was either way at the end of this. We'll find out what's in the final, but finding out the other, like, top 8 decks is something I would like to see. Unfortunately, I think they were spectating a lot of my games, which is going to give me very little information, because when I go back and watch the stream later, I'll just watch myself. And I'm like, I already know what I was playing, and I know what my opponents were playing. I checked their VOD, and Yuke was on Warriors and got OTK'd by Galaxy twice in top 4. Ooh. Ooh. So that means both... Well, we got knocked out by Galaxy, and I guess him playing Warriors also got knocked out by Galaxy. It's interesting, though. I don't think the Warrior deck has a super bad matchup into Galaxy. But a lot of what you want to do on Warriors kind of counters what Galaxy wants to do. So it's interesting that's a trend we're seeing. I mean, to be fair, again, we did brick twice, so take that with a pinch of salt, but even with a pinch of salt, you know, a win is a win is a win, right? Now, has Gozu found a legend trap? I guess it would specifically have to be negate attack in the top 11 cards of the deck. That is the question. Double Meteor. So if he has negate attack, this is insane value. I don't actually see how the Galaxy player wins if his opponent has negate attack. I think this is just over if negate attack is flipped. So there was a delay. What does that tell us? It's exactly Slime, but if it was Slime, you would have activated it before these attacks. Alright, letting one get cleared. That makes sense, right? You want to be able to summon an actor so that you can make a fusion. Why did we let the second attack go through? What was the logic of letting... Is it like Stealth Agic would be a reason to let that happen? Assuming he's playing Stealth Agic. I don't understand why we took the second hit. Want to get another monster off the field then, NA? That's what I don't understand why we let the second attack go through. Let 2 off to get Ashura combo. What does that... How does losing an extra card allow Ashura to be changed in any way, shape, or form is my question. Unless it was... I didn't check the attack order. Maybe he let the warrior... If the warrior was... If Sword Dance was attacked second, then if he's playing... We know he's playing Monster Reincarnation, so theoretically he could Monster Reincarnation to get it from his graveyard back in his hand. Theoretically. But even that seems like a bit of a stretch. Otherwise you have 2 Magicians on the field. That's a very good point. But we're fusing with Magician anyway. Do we have TCB? We know one of the Magicians is in the graveyard, so his last one has to be in hand, assuming the other one isn't already in the bin. He still has 6 cards in hand. Okay, so we have the Star Restart. We do bring back... Now that is very interesting. So are we going to TCB? No, why would we do this? Making Ashura here is just always bad unless you have TCB. But if we had TCB, we could have just opened with this before. We didn't have to make the Heracule Star at all. Or Hercules Star. So we're going to mess with our opponent's graveyard. I mean, I guess it doesn't really make any difference, right? We were summoning just a guy. Like, just a 2800 guy. Nothing else really mattered. It's just... I don't know. Without knowing all the cards he had access to, it's hard to, like, gauge this. I give up. Plan too big-brained for me. Apparently... I mean, it might literally have been that he had nothing else, right? Those 3 back row might all be completely dead. Or they might all be live traps. We literally didn't have another option. We might not have a Serpainter in rotation as well. It's just like, if we had... I suppose either way, you would need an extra slot free. Because there was no way to make an Ashura and a Vritra. There was physically no way to do that. Because you always have a Juggler stuck on the field. Set 2, change to defense. Bro, what is going on? Well, now Ashura Star gets loads of value because we can get monsters out the way to try and get damage in, or we can pop back row. We can literally do whatever we want. We cannot get another fusion out. So we need TCB to spin this monster if we want to also pop a back row. Imagine like we have a TCB face down, flip it up, change everything to spellcasters, pop a back row. The back row ends up being a really important trap. Like negate attack, or just any legend trap, I suppose. I mean, he's out of Secret Order, so he is kind of hooked. His opponent is only on 800, though, right? So, we know he's playing Galactica Force. So, if he just finds Meteor Charge, which I think he has 1 copy left, like, Charge plus Force could just be the game. The issue is... I don't think our Matarian player in Gozu has used his... Oh, that is huge. That is actually huge. That is unbelievably huge. That might decide the game. So now, but, we did just mill the final Juggler to the grave, which means we cannot use TCB to make that into a spellcaster. Plus, we've also just used Hercules Star to sort out the graveyard. So we're not going for... So in a way, it was almost just the wrong decision to pop the back row unless you knew you were going to hit a legend, right? Do you think King Cobra will make Matarian better? I don't think so. By the way, Gohut is only unlockable in event? Yes, at the moment. Unless he draws Reincarnation. He hasn't shuffled the deck, I don't think. Oh no, he has, because he's been... No, Hercules doesn't shuffle the deck, right? In which case, I don't think we've shuffled the deck since we put the Reincarnation to the bottom. Thick. So, how does Gozu win this game? There are so many different ways. At this rate, Gozu might just, like... I don't see Gozu losing. But, like, there is a slim chance, right? We literally now need just Meteor Charge. Oh, if we hit a good trap. Oh, that's probably going to spell the end then. Unless we have more Universal Storms. So there's no reason to do this unless you have the Meteor Charge. Galactica Force. 31. That's only 300 damage. So do we not have Meteor Charge? We don't. We're just like we have to do something. The opponent has 4 cards in hand. Going up to 5. So 8 cards to work with and a 2800 body on the field. Howdy ho, Jambo. Welcome on in. You've caught us in the semi-finals of the Angel Cup. We are currently watching the player that knocked us out in top 8, playing Galaxy, who I should probably learn the names, and Gozu in the top, playing Metarion. Gozu managed to win Game 1 with the Type Change Beam OTK on turn 3. Game 2 has become a bit of a grind game, but it does feel like Light Galaxy has run out of steam. We are going to grab back the Imaginary Arc Turbo. Summon out 2 1400 Vanillas. Activate to boost up to 29, and that will be threatening lethal. 400 damage in. And that is going... Was that a time limit win? Was that a time limit win? No way! No way Gozu just lost a time! That is so funny. That is actually hilarious. Yeah, we are caught up. That is actually hilarious. Alright, game 3. We have Gozu winning game 1 with an OTK and losing game 2 to time. Realistically, our Galaxy player here is just along for the ride. He has no actual agency in this duel. Don't listen to Luke Tyler. The red numbers are real and can hurt you. They can. They do. Okay, where do we go now, though? Do we have Meteor Charge? Meteor Charge turn 1 would be so good. We need to apply a lot of pressure very, very quickly. If we can't, I don't actually think there's a reason to go hyper-aggressive. Universal Storm. We are going to hit back row. We hit a pretty useless back row. We're hitting another one. That might have saved our life. It depends what that last back row is. So no Meteor Charge, but we can get in for half of our opponent's life points, which is very, very good. Meteor Charge here would have represented an extra, what, 11 plus 2? 1300 extra damage, so it wouldn't have been threatening lethal either way. Alright, how is Gozu going to respond? Are we just going to OTK? It is, remember, only a 4-card combo. So if we just draw that 4-card combo, or if that last card is one of those cards, in which case we needed a 3-card combo, we can just win. Looks like we are going to be activating our skill and probably sending Reincarnation to the graveyard, which tells me we have opened a reactor. So we're going to summon out the reactor, use its effect, put the monster Reincarnation back on the bottom of the deck, Pot of Greed, draw 2 more cards, means we have even higher chance of drawing into our combo, and then it will come down to how many Type Change Beam we're running versus how many we've seen. Obviously, one is already in the graveyard, but most players will play at least 2, sometimes 3. And if we do have full combo, this is just going to be lethal. Gozu's doing a big think. Now, last time he did a big think, he did an OTK play. But, game 2, doing big thinks lost him the game. There is Star Restart, which is actually perfect because we milled the fusion off of the reactor, which is... You can't make it up. That is like the perfect custom hand and custom top of the deck. So there's 1. There's 2. So now all we need is a second TCB. And the game is basically over. Do we have it? Do we have the type change beam and the sword dancer in hand? If we do, this is it. Oh, it's looking like it isn't. So we do get to attack over for a measly 300. Now, our Light Galaxy player has a chance to strike back. We know those cards are only going to have 500 defense, so if we are able to get out a 3200 attack monster with piercing, we can threaten our opponent down to 100 life. If we have a Secret Order and a Meteor Charge, we threaten lethal. If we have both of those and a Universal Storm, we 100% have lethal. So we flipped it back in the other direction. The Galaxy player now has a combo of 3 cards that just wins the game. Now, notably, the Galaxy player can search one of those combo pieces using his skill. So as long as he's opened one of his 5 remaining boss monsters, he will have access to a Meteor Charge or the Secret Order. So there's the Secret Order. That's part 1. I think if we had the Universal Storm, we would just open the Universal Storm. It doesn't really make a difference, but I think you just would. So we are going to use the skill. Discard Footman. Adding the Meteor Charge. So this now threatens lethal. So that back row has to be pretty much a Legend Trap. So negate attack, I think is his Legend Trap of choice. And, or a Buffered Slime. So we know that will get in for 11, and we know... Ooh, okay, so that doesn't really matter. Whatever we flipped up, it would have been threatening lethal anyway. So now does Gozu have... Why are we attacking that? Is Deco Boko. He got top 10 in both GR festivals. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Good old Deco Boko. Who's the one that knocked us out then? Did he not almost just throw the game? I suppose if it was Slime, then you wanted to attack in that order. But then at that point, why would you not just attack with the Transam first, with the piercing? So it looks like we still do not have TCB, or if we do, we're just not throwing it down because we're too scared of the back row. We are going to use Ashura to start just trying to pop stuff. Hello, does anyone played new Warrior deck? Yes, we were playing it in a tournament just now until we got knocked out by the Light Galaxy player on the bottom, who is now in the semi-finals. That card is so strong in Rush Duel. Oh, yeah. I mean, which one are we talking about? Ashura Star? Talking about the gate attack? Right, what's Gozu thinking right now? He is so far behind on life points. The OTK is going to be the cleanest way to win, but you don't want to, like, throw it out and your opponent just has back row to stop you. He really wants to make another fusion, because that is, like, the safest he could do. Having just big bodies on the field is the safest option for you against the Light Galaxy deck. So we're going to be searching out the Imaginary Arc Turbo. Notably, that has shuffled the deck, which means Monster Reincarnation is now back in the game. Negate attack battle phase. Yeah, it's negate attack is so crazy strong in this format. Like, it's arguably the most important card in everyone's deck. Or, you know, some people are playing Widespread Ruin instead, and then that becomes the most important card. So, where are we going with this? Gozu might time out again if we keeps taking this long. He is taking far, far too long. This is his second really long turn. And remember, he did lose the last game to timeout. Metarian need anti-galaxy fusion. I don't really think they do, but on the other hand, it would be nice for them to have like anti-everything. Like just slowly over time, just keep giving them a few more. Wait, no attack. Well, I guess the logic is if his... So do we know what... Do the players know what legends the other one is on now? Because the only reason I could think not to attack... So, alright. First off, if you don't have a free spot, you can't use Secret Order, right? So, there's that. How many Secret Orders have been used, though? I think it's 2 have been used, so there is still 1 left, so that would easily out the Ashura Star. If you're worried about a widespread, that would also be a reason not to attack. Metarian doesn't need to be stronger than it already is. I mean, basically, yeah. Yeah, we gotta help the rogue deck Metarian. Guys, Metarian is a tier 4 deck at best, okay? It's been performing okay in tournaments, but guys, did you know if you don't draw fusion, the deck doesn't do anything? That's such a bad, like, aspect of the deck. I don't think a deck that, you know, relies on a single unsearchable spell card could be any higher than tier 4. OCG Metarian needs Galaxy Hate Fusion, Duel Links doesn't. Does it? Does the OCG need an anti-Galaxy card? Galaxy's not even, like, super strong of a deck at the moment. Now, I play Ruin and E-Hero because it's consistent to get material for fusion. Can get rid of a big body that could be hard for hero. It's one of those things where Widespread Ruin is fantastic. Unless your opponent has Secret Order. And then Widespread Ruin is ass. Is Metarian good in OCG? So, historically, like back when it was like in the 7s era, it won like a tournament. Like it really didn't do very well. Now, it has just received some new support. Like we've just got the reactor, we've just got Imaginary Leading Actor and some more fusions, and we haven't really had time to see how it's doing. Because like a lot of people will play it because it's new. Is it Metarian tier 2 in OCG? Well, again, it's still brand new. Like the cards have only been out for like a week. So like, it's kind of like first impressions, it's doing alright, but like all it can be is a first impression. True, Noodle Ninja relied on extra spice. That's why it never was good. So Noodle Ninjas is like has always been like an okay rogue deck in OCG. Like it had stuff it could do. The stuff it could do would sometimes win games. It had like some interesting plays you could make between using extra spice, then fusing it off into, I think it's meat spice, I think it's called. Then using its effect to get more burn and more draws, and you could recoup a lot of the resources that you put into summoning the fusion monster, which was pretty good. But it was never as unfair as other decks, right? The other decks just have a lot more straightforward game plan. They don't really have to jump through as many hoops to get to a better result a lot of the time. But for 7's Road, I find hard to have all material, so it's cool to keep them one turn more. The thing is, with the skill to get out the 7's Road, it's very easy. You just find your vanilla, your Roadstar, and then you could either search the fusion or the 7's Road, which is everything you need, right? Now, obviously, you still have a choke point there, and you need to find your Swordsman of Roadstar, but I do think it's better, or it's easier, than some of the other fusions. I hope Neos Hero comes soon, at least before Equips. No, there is literally no chance that happens. No chance in hell. They are not going to bring out Contact Fusion before they bring out Equips. They just will not do that. Duel Links tends to follow the anime quite strictly, so they are not going to release a whole new mechanic before a previous mechanic. Realistically, we're going to get Equips, then we're going to get Maximums, and, well, you know, the Go Rush Maximums, and then we're going to get Contact Fusion. And Contact Fusion probably won't be for a long time as well. I'm at gem cap, so pulling for Secret Order when Noodle support comes. So you want the, cross promotion, the level 7 normal Noodle? Is that the one you're kind of waiting for? Man can always dream. You can, I mean, to be fair, all I can do is speak from the past, right? All I can do is talk to the precedents that have already been set by Konami. They can change those whenever they want. So even if I say there is a 99% chance that's not going to happen, there's always that 1%. Now. Light Galaxy wins. But they did lose already, right? Because Gozu had lethal and timed out. That makes this even funnier. He had a free ride to finals, and because he took too long, he is now out of the tournament. Let's see what happens here. I'm at GemCats, playing Secret Order, Manclaw's Dream. Tomato, what is your opinion on the implementation of pack tickets? How do they work anyway? So if you win pack tickets, it's just a free booster pack. That's all it is. You get a ticket for a specific pack, and then like when you get like a free 10 pull, like sometimes it'll be like, you know, the new box is out. Here's 10 free packs. It's just that. It's literally just that. Yes, the Noodle Fusions, Noodle Ninja is still the most fun I've had playing Rush. Noodles are cool. Noodles are really cool. I've always thought that. Widespread, good enough. Another Galaxy Mirror Finals? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Galaxy Mirror. The Galaxy Mirror is very, very sacky. Galaxy's already a little bit sacky to begin with. And when it becomes a Galaxy Mirror, like whoever goes second tends to have quite a big advantage unless the player going second bricks. Because if you go second, you get to do a crap ton of damage to your opponent immediately, which means your opponent is now like behind on the damage race. But if your opponent doesn't have a good hand going second, then going first is still better because you get more cards. So it's an awkward one. It comes down to like who's luckier and who's unluckier a lot of the time, I feel. Yes, but like I was playing E-Hero, it's hard to find another deck as consistent. I mean, one card into fusion, lowering power, maybe 2 material with one card, and the skill is hard to compete in terms of consistency. Yes. I would say the most consistent decks right now for me, as in like consistently get to do the thing they're trying to do and can search out a lot of the things they need, is going to be probably like Hero typically does, but Hero can still brick. I think Spellcaster Fusion does it quite well. Dragon Fusion does it to a certain extent. I mean, any of the fusion decks have ways to make their fusion more consistent, right? But then it comes down to, is it still worth the amount of resources you go put into it? So like, it's an awkward one. Anubis Curse in Rush as Legend. The one change all monsters' defense to 0. Oh, you want Curse of Anubis? I mean, I guess it could, like, realistically. Heroes are a little better now with the new box. Might try them on Sunday for Grand. Now, you've got to keep winning with the Celestial Warriors, Manicus. I really like the Warrior Fusions. They have a lot of potential, yes. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any of them make it to finals here. In the Japanese scene, we keep seeing Light Galaxy performing so well. Like, it's doing okay in the Western tournaments as well, but in the Japanese scene, it's doing so unbelievably well. I'm moving from Innovator, it seems, to Galaxy, I see. Well, Galaxy, I mean, is a really strong deck. I personally, like, I like the deck to an extent, but it is very, very sacky. So, like, if you get a little bit unlucky, the deck feels kind of ass to play. But if you get, like, it's not even, like, you have to get catastrophically, like, you really do. The deck is consistent enough because you need 2 cards in hand, basically that are, like, 70% chance for you to open, and the deck kind of gets going. If you don't open those, the deck feels kind of ass to play. But, like, it's still very good. You know, I've still performed very well on it. I think it's a very, very strong deck. It's performing extremely well in tournaments, as we can see. Messing with someone's charts is my end goal. Yeah? I mean, in which case you want to play Cointech, Manicist. We want to see Cointech make finals. And there we go. There's 3,200 piercing. Well, we already know that Light Galaxy is 1, so I can start filling in my spreadsheet now. And I'm pretty sure Light Galaxy is going to come second. And then it was Metarian and Warrior Fusion, I believe. And we already know that I made top 8, so I can fill myself in as well. True, I'm into Saki decks anyway. Well, you say that, but the machine deck is actually quite a relatively consistent deck. The only issue the machine deck had was, like, an inability to plus, right? I have 2 fusion, but I wasn't playing during the event. But I would try hit, and I need 1 more 7's row to have 3 of them. The fusion looks so good. So, the only problem the Spellcaster deck has, which is quite a big problem, is it's not very good at getting piercing. And if your opponent just sets 3 monsters in defense, you don't really have a good way to get damage in. You have a way, in fact, arguably you have 2 ways, but you don't have a good way. So the other thing you could do is play Torna, but then that means playing more bricks in your deck that could just lead to the consistency of the deck going down. So, like, there's not really a good fix. It's like, do you play this bad way to get damage through, this bad way to get damage through, or this bad way to get damage through? I was going to play Contact yesterday, but Warriors dropped. I want Executee so bad. We only have the bad one. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but there are several bad ones. There are, like, 5 good ones, and, like, all the rest of them are crap. So, like, Executee, though, is a really... So Executee has a massive issue, which is when they first came out, they were so disgustingly broken, it created a tier 0 format that surpassed the current tier 0 format, right? The game was already in a situation where... So when the game came out, it was Dragoncasters tier 0. Then, as we went on, it became Dragoncasters and Machine Casters tier 0. Like, I mean, you could argue they're not tier 0 because there's 2 different decks, but like nothing was worth playing outside of them. Then we got Gate Order, which was a new tier 0 that surpassed the other tier 0s. And then when Executee came out, that was a tier 0 that was better than the other 2 tier 0s, right? So, like, I really don't think that Konami's going to want to give us Executee at full power. So I think they're going to give it to us heavily nerfed. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that. They might give us a couple copies as, like, bundles and not give us all of the cards. Some of them are going to be limited. That's just going to happen. Dekaboko is on widespread, so he doesn't really have any defensive options in the mirror. And that's the reason I don't like widespread. Widespread against, like, anything that isn't Light Galaxy, fantastic. Really, really good. But if you keep going against Light Galaxy, it's crap. Nice, gonna give them a spin later today. But 7's Rage is my favorite. I want to tech Pierce in Cyber Dragon. Twin-headed Pierce is so OP. I mean, oh yeah. So, Tomato, you're telling me that I will get the bad one first, lol. I mean, probably. Tier -1. I think that Pierce is a good card when you play something that can attack twice. I mean, it depends. Because a lot of the time, Pierce is also going to do nothing. So, like, sometimes Pierce is, like, dead weight. It really does depend. There isn't, like, it's always good or it's always bad. The only deck that's, like, consistently run Pierce and actually got decent results with it was Royal Rebels. And that's because it plays a very specific game plan. So Dekaboko in the top has a very impressive board here. He's also put his opponent down to only 400 life points. Now, he does have a 0 defense monster on the field. So, if our bottom player is able to just do a Secret Order into Meteor Charge, we can get in for 3,200 damage. And then we only need to find another 200 damage to kill. Or 100 damage to kill. Hoping for Reverie to be unlimited, or at least limit 2. The problem is, I don't think it's a good idea to buff Galaxy when it's already performing as well as it is. Hope your opponent goes aggro and doesn't play anything in defense, and you're on the back foot and draw Pierce, you're not in a great spot. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, we are going to be popping the back row. Tell you what, we are going to, while this game is going on, we're going to be right back ever so briefly, and hopefully be back before this game ends. What did we miss? Did we miss anything important? If he doesn't, it's easy OTK. Big risk, big reward. But in... It's a weird one though, right? Because in some situations, sure, that's going to be fantastic. In others, that will be the reason you lost the game. And like, you kind of want to strive for consistency. And that's just true for like any card game, right? So here comes Secret Order. We missed the OTK, so basically nothing. Well, yeah, we're on turn 2, so this is obviously a brand new game. Let's see. Oh. Let's get rid of that. So, 2800 life. No board. We have to break through this. Now, Transam is kind of a sitting duck here. But we have so many life points, I don't think it matters. Never built to high roll, always built to play. Exactly. Right now, Galaxy is make and play, so none missed. So we summon out Traveler. We'll summon out Transam. Activate Traveler. Reduce. Activate Order. Bring back, I can only assume, the Galactica Oblivion from the graveyard. Tribute 2. Summon out Footman. So we can clear the board, but we're very behind on life points still. This is where Galaxy starts to feel kind of bad. If you have to spend all your resources just to clear opponent's board and get no damage in, you always feel like, well, I'm now like that further away from actually killing you. And obviously when you're playing a deck that runs out of steam very, very quickly, it especially feels bad because the Galaxy grind game is not great. Footman OP, exactly. Well, Universal Storm hitting Universal Storm. Probably not exactly what Dukaboka was looking for. This is some very calming music for the grand finals of the tournament. But we're not going to change it because it's Animal Crossing and everyone loves Animal Crossing. So there's not going to be an easy way to kill through this. I mean, there are ways to kill through this, but there's not going to be an easy one. If we Secret Order, summon, we can get him for 7. If we Epherai, we could boost that by 1,000, get him for another 3, and then get him for 12. That's 22. That's not going to do it. Double Order would be what? 7 plus presumably 8? That'd be 9. So that'd be 16, 32. Double Order would kill. Any reason why they're not playing Milky Way, or is it because they're playing more than 6 high levels? So you can't play Milky Wave Neo because the skill limits you to only playing light galaxies, and Milky Wave Neo is a wind monster. Alright, this is more like grand final music, I think. Grabs out the order. So this is the first order. If we have another order, we should have already used 1. I don't know if we've used 2 already. But we should have 2 back row to chew through. So it doesn't make any difference if you leave it in attack or defense, because if we get the piercing, we're changing it to defense anyway with the same card. So that is irrelevant. This makes more sense if you just assume your opponent just is not going to have Meteor Charge. You used 2 already? Well, then we cannot do the play that would win the game. Universal Storm. What do we hit? We hit Meteor Charge. We activate Secret Order. All hard drawn, by the way. Then we activate our own Meteor Charge. This is pretty big. Another Secret Order. We're just going all in? Oh, wait, because we know that back row can't be anything. Is Dekaboko even playing Slime? I have not been paying enough attention to know if he is or not. My guess is that back row is widespread and it's just not going to do anything. And there we go. Our champion is not Dekaboko. And this is that is exactly the reason that I, one, don't really like widespread, at least not like as like a main deck option, I suppose, and two, will always play Slime, because as much as, yeah, they're bad into, you know, negate attack and Slime are worse into Metarian or whatever, right? Light Galaxy is still a prominent deck that is doing very, very well. And there we go. That is it for the tournament. So, if we go back and take a look at the brackets, if we fix this, we can do this with this. There we go. We can go and take a look and see where everyone placed. So, our top 8 was Neko Hand, Yoke. It was... Oh, why is it translated? No. It was... Actually, maybe we should just leave it translated. It makes it easier for me. Gengen. Immortal Delgaban, who ended up getting to the finals. Is that Gozu's name? It's a potato. Deku, unfortunately, got 2-0'd. And then there was us against Bumpy, which is Dekaboko. And there we go. There we go. Where did everyone else get knocked out at? So we had... Ursus was knocked out here. We had now Neo up here. Dwan... We had Bismarck. Cloudy did get knocked out in round 2. And Cloudy did beat Squid, which is pretty good. Oh, Mutant got disqualified? No way. Feels bad, man. What's the top 8 decks? No idea. Well, we know the top 5. That's what we know. This is what we know. This is all the information I have at the moment. We will see if we can get any more information, but that is all we have at the moment. I mean, it's an interesting lineup. Like, if we go back over to here, if we reorder this, we can see where this puts Warrior Fusion. So Warrior Fusion is already, like, here on the list so far. So it's already doing quite well. It's already overtaken Light Machine, and it's played in 2 tournaments. So, like, give it another tournament, it'll probably overtake E-Hero, it might overtake Spellcast, it'll already be, like, a challenging for that, like, top 5 deck position. Match 3-2 was a Galaxy Mirror. Which one was 3-2? So this was a Galaxy Mirror. Okay, well, I can add that then. We'll like, double-check this later, if I could actually add it in. But it's not too surprising at all to see, like, Galaxy decks popping off. And with that, I guess we'll take some of this, right? We'll save that one. I think that's worth saving. And we'll save that one. I don't think we have to save the other one. And now, we will... Oh, why didn't I leave the room? Well, it should time out. No, it's not going to time out. Okay, we'll close that. And then we will, I guess, go and take a look at our deck, as well as make any changes we want to make to it. So, the deck that we played today was this. This was just like a fun experiment with the deck. Realistically, Dark Ruler's Battle Slash ended up never really coming up. The logic behind Battle Slash was, in this version of the deck, we're actually not going to be fusion summoning that much, and we were just planning to use Kime Luna and just sit on Kime Luna. Because Kime Luna comes out as a 26, basically. And then we can start using things like Shield and Sword Shield to take advantage of her big stat line. So the logic was, well, if I want to sit on Kime Luna, Dark Ruler's Battle Slash gains additional value, right? That's the logic. Now, did it actually play out like that? Not too much. But this is the deck that we were using. We're probably going to, like, try it again. See you guys later. Time to Cog. Well, thank you for stopping by. Is that Shui I see? Welcome on in. So now we're going to jump into some ranked games. We're going to see what we can do. We're just going to fire on them with this deck. We're not going to make any changes yet. We're just going to see how it performs. Because again, Logic versus Practice, good card. Bad timing for it right now. The thing is, it's pretty good as long as you're not on... Like, if you're on one of your bosses that hasn't been fused off, it's still really good. It's an awkward one, though, because if you're... Every time it would have been useful today, something very specific happened, so it didn't work. So 5 traps / rest of the spells, Soul Hermit. I wanted to try that out. Yeah, that's the whole point. We're just playing like a control variant, and we're just going to see like how it goes. Well, we have got a Essel in the opening hand, so could be pretty good. Is that Harpies? Interesting. Kime Luna and thingy in the open is kinda yikes. I mean, I guess we'll just throw it down. Activate the effect. So we're always bringing something back. But what do I even want? That can let me just look at a face down card. That's probably worth it. That could change that to defense, but does that even matter? I can change all his battle positions anyway. So I'll summon out All-Seeing Harvey. Activate Harvey. Let's take a little look-see. A counter pigeons. I mean, that's good to know. Then... I guess we'll just summon. I don't think there's a reason not to. Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon you out. We will activate your effect. Let's flip this up. And we're going to flip this, or change it to defense. Don't need to worry about that. Are we keeping Yami in hand is the next question. Oh, we already knew the Hammer Crush. Why did I click that? That was just stupid. There was literally no reason to do that whatsoever. Okay. Sure. Yeah, sure. We'll go back Fusion. Why not? Alright, so now... I guess we'll swing. You's going to use the card Restoration. Lots of battle traps is what I'm seeing here. Swing him with this. He is going to use the counter pigeons. Because reasons. And then we're going to pass. So he knows what a back row is, so he doesn't really have any fear. Aggro, let's go! Harpies with shot. Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, today's winner was Misaka. He keeps changing his tournament name, so I didn't know it was him. I don't even know who Misaka is by name. So, Harpy Lady Sisters. So, we know our opponent has 2 Harpy Lady Sisters right now. Does he have enough light? No, he doesn't have enough wind spellcasters. Not wind spellcasters. Wind, Oh, that's annoying. Especially losing shield and sword, or sword and shield. He doesn't have enough winged beast to use the skill. Hammer Crush. So now he needs to send a winged beast, which he has sent. So now he can attack over this. Okay, we didn't need to do that anyway then. We'll just set 2, and you just attack over me. Okay. Why? How confident are you in your back row? What is this hand? Like, what is this? I don't really want to overcommit here, so we are just going to do this. We're going to activate Kime Luna. We're going to change this to defense. I'm going to change myself to defense. We're going to activate our skill. Change this thing's defense. Set 1, set 2, set 3. Attack. I think I'm okay with this trade, you know? I think I'm okay with that. There's Harpy Lady. And there's another Harpy Lady. So we're losing this either way. There's nothing we can do about that. But, like, the rest of this is just not scary. We will go card restoration here, I suppose. Get the extra draw. Oh, come on, deck! Ah! Oh, what am I supposed to do? This isn't my fault. So I have to summon this. We have to use the skill. Activate shield and sword. The problem is, I know what he's got face down. So I attack here, he flips over Call of the Earthbound, he redirects it, and then I'm dead. So there's nothing we could do. Looks like you need ways to unbrick. Well, what I need is just not to brick in the first place, right? That's the strategy of playing less tribute monsters, is you won't brick as much. I'm just unlucky, that's all it is. I am just the unluckiest Rush player in the world. Alright. Now, as long as we don't brick, we should be good to go here. Is that free to play aggro? It doesn't matter. It really did not matter what he did, because we bricked, right? Now, Sakadetsu, you don't want to look at his deck. His deck was trash. It was completely bad. If you're not fusing, Semi-Ruler is better. That is factually inaccurate. That is just straight up wrong. How do we want to do this? I could go for the fusion. Summon 2, get that out. Pop, pop, swing, swing. Or we just go for the piercing with that. Change something to attack mode. That's probably better. Which means you're going to get tributed. We'll summon out Harvey. Activate Harvey. Let's take a look. Ghost Cyclone. Activate the effects. Give this piercing. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the effects. We'll flip this up. Or summon. Activate the skill. We will boost this and this. And then we'll set the fusion. Then we'll go to battle. We'll try and get in. Swing with this. And then get in for 15. Now the downside is, mind you, a lot of our attack is base 0, so I don't think we died a TCB combo here. Not brick? Impossible. Hey, maybe he is one of the people, a free-to-play guy. Oh, he might be, but his deck is still ass, like, just completely. Hello, Icy. Welcome, welcome. The new decks are... If I'm home, I've not had a game where the Yami Fusion does anything more than one attack before Tribute or TSA kills it. Yeah, but the point is that Semi-Ruler, most of the time, is just a brick and is going to do literally nothing, right? The cost to summon out the monster from your hand is just too expensive. Now, if you know 100% of the time you're going to see Semi-Ruler and Kime Luna in exactly the same hand, exactly the same time, sure, there might be an argument for it. If you're not going to have exactly that situation, it's just bad. Semi is garbage. Have to discard to summon a 0 attack monster, and that's a lot of resources. Also, when you summon off Semi, it loses the attack boost, and that monster can't be buffed by skill. It's garbage. Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Yeah, there's no point in playing with the skill. Oh, is that a... No, it wasn't. Okay. Wait a minute, why'd you gain so much attack? Doesn't it gain... Is it not original attack? Total attack. Oh, it's not original attack. Okay, so we cannot play around that. Ah, I thought that was going to be original attack. And that would have been really, really cool. But no, that was just cringe. Man. Ashura is really cringe. God damn it. I didn't have any trap cards. You say that my deck in Rush? I know, ass. I mean, I think your deck, Saka, is a lot more playable than a lot of the garbage that we do run into in COG. If your deck keeps bricking, I'd rather discard with Seme for Kimirua than just keep it in hand. But the logic is, if your deck is bricking, you either want to have better cards that unbrick it, or you want to just not be bricking by just playing less boss monsters. So we've gone for the playing less boss monsters option, and now it just comes down to RNG if we're bricking, right? If I wanted to play cards that would fix my hand better, I would play things like Star Restart. So Yggdrago is bad because if they draw tribute to the TSA, done the same. I mean, yes, that is the logic. Who is Cyclone Icy? I think you're losing it. Yeah, who's Cyclone? Today I have resting day, so I relax and get shafted by opponent. That sounds exciting. Nice, yeah. Feel you on pack opening, but otherwise good. Your top 8 opponent was on 7's Paladin. Oh, Yuke's top 8 opponent. Thank you, Dwan. That means we're only 1 away from finding out what everyone was on. So you've summoned this out, but I can just out it, like, basically effortlessly by doing this. What's the next plan, though? Because I can't really get over this without using something up, and I don't really want to use something up. Like, I don't want to give up my Needlecree. It only represents 1,000 damage in as well. I guess we'll flip this. We'll just set this. Set. Set. Go to battle, and then we'll just attack over this. Goodbye. Let's see what he's got for us. But if you play less bosses, you have more games where you won't draw a boss. Yeah, but so what you're saying, Mr. Bad Time, is if you play less bosses, you won't draw bosses. But if we're still bricking when we're playing less bosses, then we haven't drawn any bosses, right? So, like, logistically, that still doesn't actually track, right? If you're still bricking when you're drawing less bosses, then that's just getting unlucky. And that's something you can't really play around, right? If you're playing less bosses, so let's say I'm still only playing 4. I now only have 1 copy of Seme, and I need to draw that copy of Seme at exactly the same time that I draw a copy of Kime. Otherwise, it literally doesn't do anything, right? It is a vanilla card that doesn't do anything whatsoever. And like people already said, it takes away the synergy that it has with the skill by being able to make Kime Luna go up to 26. Because that's like the benefit is you get to keep that attack during your opponent's turn. If you use Seme, you don't get to keep that attack during your opponent's turn. Which means the whole idea behind the deck kind of falls apart. At that point, you might as well just play the Fusion Turbo version. Alright, All-Seeing Harvey. So you're going to take a look at my back row. You're going to see one of my legends. Now, I just really hope you can't pop that. Okay. Do we even bother protecting it? I think we do. It's kind of a use it or lose it situation. Because now that he knows it's there, like, he's just going to pop up next chance he gets. So do we pop? Is going to be the next question. Or do we fuse? Fusing is typically better. Has he seen his traps? He hasn't used any traps. I think because he hasn't used any traps yet, we're just going to go for the fusion play. Yeah. Grab out the fusion. Activate Kime Luna. Change this. Change this. Activate Fusion. Make this by using this and this. Summon it out. Activate Kimiterasu. Pop 2 defense position monsters. We'll get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. We can set this. Do we just push? Yeah, we're going to push. We're going to summon this. Just go for a push. Go to battle. Swing with this. So he has got a legend trap, which meant there was nothing we could do in it. So that was the reason we went for this, because if he had already used his negate attack, we would have just not fusion summoned. But I wanted the monsters to definitely be gone. So now he has to, like, draw into it. Oh yeah, today we are getting a Rush Dream ticket. The most I need Infinity for my Raid Raptors. It's so weird that a lot of other decks, I guess it's primarily just Raid Raptors, really. But are like, oh, I need to make sure I get this Infinity for my non-Cyber Dragon deck. I mean, sure, we'll save that replay. Fine. We need to get some replays. And a lot of the replays we've had at the moment have been a bit dud. I really wanted to save some of the replays from earlier in the tournament, but, you know, I can't prioritize saving my replays. I've got to prioritize just getting into the game. Too bad they limited all the ghost tricks with Infinity. Well, I think it's because Konami's always going to be scared of, like, stall decks being good. I mean, we saw what they did to Noodles. And, like, that's barely a stall deck. They still were like, no, can't have that. But, like, I do... It's one of those weird ones where, like, there are some decks which are, like, obnoxious with it, and there are others which are fine. I don't know how Ghost Trick looks in Duel Links. So, like, I couldn't tell you if it's, like, really frustrating to play against or completely fine. Like, I genuinely have no idea. I'll use Infinity on Raid Raptor and my Metal Foe, and no one will stop me. That's the spirit. They do still have Stall, the maximum decks. Maximum decks don't actually tend to stall, though, right? If you're playing Yggdrago, you have a 2-turn clock on the game almost all the time. If you're playing Magnum Overlord, you're going to try and just OTK them straight up. Alright, we are just going to find a boss off of this. There we go, easy. So I have to change this to defense and attack over it. That just has to happen. We have to boost it up. So this changes, and then we might as well flip something else up. That's unfortunate. I can just pay 500 life points to put it back down again. Defense mode. We'll activate our skill. We'll boost this up. I don't want to grab the fusion, so I'd rather just set my whole hand. Swing over this. Swing over this. Swing over this. And then we'll pass. Demoni testing Ghost Trick in Duel Links right now. So is a lot testing what turn one is better. Okay. Hashtag bad Essel. Yeah, Essel. It's funny how absolutely dominant Essel was back when Essel was good, and now Essel is like kind of fine. It's very interesting to see just how an injection of a few new cards can really change like the meta in a huge way. Like literally before Go Rush, any of the good decks could like pop off of Essel. Even Psychic could like really hard pop off of just an Essel mill on turn 2. They all stall whether you believe or not. Cyburst is just not good at it. It depends what we mean by stall, right? Because if we're talking, you know, activates floodgates that don't let you attack, then obviously they don't do that. If you're talking about just plays everything in defense mode every turn, okay, every deck does that. Or every deck can do that. So by that logic, every deck is a stall deck. It's like, how many ways do you have to stop your opponent from attacking, I think, is what, like, defines something as a stall deck or not. Don't get rid of my poor Kime Luna. My store, I mean spamming Recital and such. Well, most of the time, the Cyburst deck doesn't actually play many traps. Usually it only plays the 2 regular traps. Behold, card restoration. Let's not confuse not playing because I have no meaningful plays outside of maximum summoning with stalling. Yeah, there's a lot of decks that basically have to rely on putting things sideways. But decks that play like a lot of trap cards, it's weird because I don't even consider those really to be stall decks. Not really. Like, they stall a little bit more than other decks. That's a Starry Start. So, summon. Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon this. Guess we'll just summon out Needlecree. Activate Kime Luna, change this to defense. Activate the skill. No. I think we'll just set this. Swing! Go get him, champ! Then we'll pass. If they set 3 and they're all live, then it is indeed stall. So 1, that's just kind of not true. Just straight up. The logic there doesn't really track. You should be able to play at least 3 trap cards in your deck and not be a stall deck. That's a weird, like, position to have. Then beyond that, like, for me, stall is always going to be a deck that consistently stops your opponent from attacking. And the key word for me there is consistently. Okay, so he gets the Pot of Greed here. In most situations, especially in TCG, stall typically is like floodgates. Like, literally, you cannot attack because this card says you're not allowed to attack. But I do think that does extend to decks that can, like, continuously use an effect to say, like, no attacking. Like if you just flip over, like, Waboku 3 turns in a row, then flip over Threatening Roar 3 turns in a row, right? You're stalling. That sort of thing. And then they keep setting more and more and more. What you're describing, Whirl, is just control. You're just describing a control deck. Galaxy is an aggro deck. They can set Slime, Negate, and Resto and have them all low. Exactly. Like, everyone has, like, pretty much the exact same tools to defend with. Where are we going with this? Starry Start. I mean, I can deal with this board. It depends what that last card in hand is. Activates the Fusion. I'm gonna mess with my graveyard. But, like, if this wasn't popped, this would have been a perfect opportunity to use Battle Slash. Especially if he sets a back row. That would have been, like, immaculate. Now, that's not what I mean. You took that too literal. They have no interaction to attack you, I'm meaning. They have no interaction to attack you. I assume you mean, like, there's no interaction when you declare the attack? Like, again, I understand. Oh. Ah, brother. Come on. Just losing the 50-50. If that had survived, we basically were, like, completely fine. And now that no, he knows what that is as well. Not that I don't think using it really makes any difference. Alright, well, we need a very specific hand to win this, and we only get 4 chances. We can get rid of one of these. We can't get rid of the other. We would have needed to have another Needlecree. Let's summon this. Activate the effect. Put this back in the deck. Target himself. Normal summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon her out. Activate the effect. I can't leave you on the field, so this has to change to defense. I don't think anything else matters, realistically. We have to kill this. Now we just have to pray, because if he just gets another fusion out, then this is like the absolute worst one. But, like, I had to get rid of Ashura Star. But if he gets out of Ritra Star, I'm also in a really, really shitty spot where I probably just lose the game. In fact, if he gets out of Ritra Star, I do just lose the game. There's nothing I can do about it. That is just game as well, I think, unfortunately. I guess if he doesn't summon out another fusion, I will live the turn. He needs any fusion and he wins. If he doesn't have another fusion, I can survive this turn. Intention meaning not attacking you on purpose. Yes, all decks have to set pass when they can't jump over stuff. Fair enough. I think that's the thing. Rush is just a different game, right? And it's very difficult to quantify things from like one game to the next. Like stall in Rush looks very different to stall in Speed. I mean, that's not bad. How do we do this, though, in a meaningful way? So if I leave that in attack, he could go 28 over it. That would be 13. And then attack over that. He'd need double fusion. If he has double fusion, I'm dead anyway. Getting an extra piercing doesn't mean anything. Activate the effects. We'll change this. And this. I don't know why I didn't change the other one. We already have the fusion, so we summon out Needlecree. Activate the fusion. Go 1, we go 2, summon out Kimitarasu. Activate the effects. Pop this, normal summon. Activate the skill. Okay, no back row there. Alright, let's see what he does. So if he summons out double fusion, we're dead no matter what. If he summons out just one fusion, we might live this. There is still a chance that we live. It depends what he's got in his hand. But there is still a chance. Let us see what our opponent has for us here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't know why we're putting Glaciosaurus back in, but okay. Bro just milled Reincarnation off the top. 12 cards in deck, just finds it off the top. Alright, now our chances of winning have gone down drastically. Alright, we're still not dead on board. We're very close, but we're not dead on board. Now we are dead if he summons anything in attack mode. That's not attack mode. There is still hope. But there is no chance he hasn't got just a vanilla in hand. Yeah, that's just game. There was just nothing we could realistically do here, I think. Was summoning a fusion in defense ever consideration? So, theoretically we could do that. The issue is we wanted to have him on a clock. So, like, potentially having the option to kill him was there. The only way Kimitarasu in attack position gets punished for specifically being in attack position was exactly Talismanic Sealer Ray. This was the only real way we got punished. Because unless he summoned... If he summoned double fusion as well, like, it was hard to deal with. Call of the Earthbound would protect us once, which would have been fine. We'd have been down on 100 life points. The thing that really was the nail in the coffin was Imaginary Actor just immediately milling the Monster Reincarnation, gave him the extra 2 cards. That's what lost us this game. I really don't understand how they are okay with Matarion being able to summon 2 turns fusion monsters every turn, but all these other decks struggle to summon 1. It's a weird, like, balance to strike. For me, the thing I think is kind of busted. First off, TCB is bullshit. It just feels like bad to lose to it. The other thing is just the sheer amount of resources that Matarion can get. By using Reactor and getting a free +2, that is so unbelievably good. Like, it is so ridiculously strong. Because if you've got an extra 2 cards in hand, that's like a whole other fusion, right? It's 66% of a fusion summon off the top of your deck, right? It is kind of ridiculous. I think if they didn't have Reactor and they didn't have TCB, the deck would feel a lot more manageable, because then it becomes a lot harder to summon out 2 fusions in 1 turn. But, you know, like you say, it is absolutely ridiculous, the stuff that the deck can pull off. Well, let us empty our hand as best we can, and then we will pass the turn. Fusion Deal. Okay, so that's kind of spooky. That means we have to worry about Ancient Gear Golem. That means we might have to worry about Rex. We might have to worry about Dragius. We might have to worry about... what's his name? Innovator. That's the one. That is the one. What do you mean Matarion doesn't have skill to add fusion? Yeah, that's always the comeback, isn't it? It's like, oh, but if we don't get fusion, we can't play the game. It's like, yeah, okay. Okay, buddy. You're correct on a technicality. Doesn't make the deck bad. Alright, let's see what our opponent has for us. How gross is this turn 1 going to be? I think the other thing to take away is when you look at most fusion monsters that are made of 2 non-tributes, typically they're like level 8 and lower, and their attack kind of caps out at like 2,500. Matarions get to break that rule. They just get to have 2,800 bodies on level 9 monsters that are made of like the easiest things to summon in the world. Bro, just hard milled Reincarnation on turn 2 off the top of his deck. Bruh. Come on. What am I supposed to do into that? Okay, Ashura Star comes down. It's difficult to compare. Matarion are meant to function differently. Them having easier access to fusion, but them having less flexible effects, unless they're against certain decks. Whereas other decks are designed to be their boss monster, like Dragius, etc., but better. I would make the argument most of their effects are absolutely fantastic. So I don't subscribe to the idea that you only get a good effect if you're against a certain type. You still get a really, really good effect. Like, the worst one is Hercules Star. Right? Like, being able to pop face down cards is insane. That is already unbelievably flexible as it is. Being able to flip monsters face up or face down, again with Richter Star, that is already, again, absolutely incredible. You don't need the other part of the effect for that to be good. I will say that Laden Star is a little bit underwhelming just because of the hand. You have to discard a card. That's the bad bit of that skill, in my opinion. God, where is... I mean, I have to deal with this. I don't really get a choice in the matter. I have to try at the very least. We'll hope it just doesn't stop me. There's no point in doing anything with these. Change this to defense. Change this. No. Set this. Activate the skill. Boost it up. And then we'll grab fusion back, because why not? I probably don't need to grab fusion back, realistically. It's just clogging up the space, but... And he has a back row anyway. Things are looking very bad for us right now. There's literally no reason at all for him not to use Ashura Star to pop the face down he knows isn't fusion. Yame Ruler or Sevens? Which one's better? Probably. It's hard to call. I personally think Yame Ruler. Sevens is like very consistent, but the deck has like many flaws. But like it's still a really good deck. It can still top. It can still win. Okay. So that might be Slime. Or that was just, I still out this board, so I don't care. I don't need to use my negate attack yet. Think Yami Ruler 2. Starry Star. Okay. Have you drawn... Yeah, you have like 4 more copies of Imaginary Actor, so you're definitely doing that. I would really like it if you just didn't summon Ashura Star every turn. That would be really nice. Like, any of the other ones is fine, just not Ashura Star. That's the only one I don't want you to have. Now, how greedy is he getting? He's not getting greedy. He did hit the wrong one. He knew that was Fusion. Unless he specifically wanted to hit Fusion. In which case, okay. That is annoying. Every single time, we've had the perfect opportunity for Battle Slash. Every single time. TSA has come down. Every time. Ah! I mean, we're still going to use it and just get a 50-50 on his negate attack. But, like, come on. Let's go middle. Well, we got the negate attack. Every time. I can't tell if the card is just straight up bad, like we literally shouldn't play it because that's going to happen every time, or we're just really unlucky. It's somewhere in there. How do we beat this board, though? He flips something up, he attacks over it, and then we just die. Because even if he flips over our biggest guy, which is 13, we still just die. We can only flip 1 up. Maybe that's our win con. I mean, we'll give it a shot. I'm not expecting this to go well. I'm pretty sure we're dead, but there is arguably a slim chance we survive. Metarian choice effects are imbalanced by design. Using Dragiastar as an example, both its effects are medium in power. Whereas Ashura has a low power effect and then a high power effect. I would argue it has 2 high... Also, that was the absolute worst case scenario. Even if I get 4 monsters off the top, I'm still dead. I needed him to flip either of these 2, and we just lost the 33. Well, it was 66 in our favor. And unfortunately, we are dead. Good, but it seems Metarian are designed to be more generic, but not game-changing or specific. And game-changing effects like Dragius are always more flexible, but not too impactful. See, I would make the argument that Dragius Star's effect is not flexible, right? Your options are, you attack twice good, or you attack twice good. What you're really deciding is, are you attacking with piercing, with a direct attack, or are you not direct attacking and not piercing? That's like the decision you make. Regardless, you're still doing the same thing. You're always attacking. Whereas if you use Ashura Star's like main effect, for example, you can get a monster out the way or a back row. That already gives you so much control over, am I trying to hit a combo piece to stop you from popping off next turn? Am I trying to hit a trap so you can't stop me from killing you? Am I trying to hit a monster so I have a chance to get a direct attack? I feel like there is already more flexibility and more decision making in Ashura Star's one effect compared to like both of Dragiastar's effects. That's my take, right? Whether or not that is, you know, a shared opinion by everyone, I'm just saying that's my opinion on it. You had to summon your Airy in attack to bait him with Shield and Sword. I still think that's a bad move, Quantum, because he could still use Vritra on either of the other 2, which now only gives me a 50% chance. Why does Metarian have to counter everything Maj? Well, in an ideal world, every deck counters everything, right? Well, I suppose not really. Like, we kind of have, like, a triangle format right now. Like, it's not quite as open and cut as that, but, like, Cyber Dragon has a pretty good matchup into Galaxy. Galaxy has a pretty good matchup into Metarian. Metarian has a pretty good matchup into Cyber Dragon, and those are the top 3 performing decks right now. It's like, we're kind of in that right now. But, like, you know, some people will think that, some people won't. Essel, go! Yes. I kind of just want this. I'm not going to lie. Come out, Rhythmical Performer! That going to the graveyard is not, like, ideal. Do I just make Bigger Guy? I kind of like just Bigger Guy. Come forth! There's not really much more to do here, so we'll do this. Grab out the fusion. Activate fusion. 1, 2. Watch this just immediately die to TSA. I'm calling it now. It's just gonna get immediately TSA'd. Or, even funnier, we're gonna run into a widespread ruin. I'm gonna put these in attack because I'm so confident we are gonna hit a widespread and it'd be really funny to have nothing left. I mean, it's not widespread. It's not widespread. Free back row pop. It's any set card. A Yami Ruler for me is top 6. I think that's a sensible place to put it. I found out against Metarion. Are we stun lock everyone today, boss? We're only playing one Yami Ruler, so we have very, very limited ways to actually get the lock going. So, realistically not. And also, I feel like every single deck just has a way to beat this. Like, the more I've been playing it over the last couple days, the more I'm like, man, like, Yamiterasu doesn't actually stop your opponent from playing. It just forces them to make one good play and out your guy and end their turn with a couple of guys in defense mode, usually. But maybe this will be the first time where it locks our opponent from playing and we just get to keep him around for ages. Metarion is precious baby deck. Please no bully. Aww. Metarion, Sidra, Galaxy, Psychic, Dragius, and Yami Ruler. Archetype gimmick, I guess. It's just one of the fusions the deck has. The other fusions are all the same. They have a generic... Alright, I think Pro Manicus. My biggest, like... I don't want to say like, issue, I suppose. My biggest concern with the way that you're saying this is you're making out like half of the effects are just bad. And I personally, I look at like Ashura Star's first effect, and I'm like, that's a really good effect. I look at Vritra Star's first effect, and I'm like, that's a really good effect. I look at Laden Star's effect, and I go, that's a little bit of a heavy cost, but it's still pretty good. And then I'll look at Heracule Star, or Hercules Star, and I'll be like, okay, your first effect's a bit crap, and your second effect is amazing. Like, I think, realistically, it's only the Hercules Star that has a quote-unquote feeble effect. Like, the other ones are still absolutely fantastic. They're ridiculously good. I mean, I guess we're just going to keep doing this. Yeah. I have to just try and clear this. We have to just set this. There's a chance he keeps his Piercer, so I kind of want highish defense monsters. I can't clear the rest of his board anyway, so I guess I just set these. There's no reason to change his defense, so we just go to battle and we just swing and just have to hope this connects. He's already used his he's already used quite a lot, actually. He's already used his negate attack. He's already used his... Well, he had used his Christ, what's the card called? Monster Reincarnation, but he's put it back in his deck now. He has so many cards that I'm just like, how have you not just like found a way around this yet? Is that a raid I see from Demoni? Welcome on in, Ghost Trick friends. You've caught us playing some ladder and being in an okay position, actually. We've been in worse positions than this. We're just going to keep floodgating. The issue is, we are going to lose the game if this just continues at this rate. So we do actually kind of have to start doing things. So I guess I'm going to summon this out and this out. Activate your effect. We're going to boost this up. We're not going to bother setting fusion. We're going to activate him. Unfortunately, that does mill another card, but it does let us start to put a clock on the game. Go get him, champ! Oh, we did not play around slime at all here. Okay. So, there's no point using slime. I assume it has to be slime. Like, there aren't that many other cards that would work in this situation. Now, we only have 6 cards. Why didn't we set the trap card in our hand? Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we do that? I guess we're playing around having cards left in our deck, and we're now on a double mill, like, every turn kind of game. So, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. They use TSA and attack Kimmy, but I use SS at 3100. Welcome, Raiders. We're raiding back to Duel Links, brother. I waited so long. Well, now that the Ghost Tricks are here, it would make a lot of sense. Oh, so Ashura comes down, has to come out in defense. So is he going to Ashura plus Vritra? Is that the play? No, my negate attack. Well, we've already used the Ashura now, so this Ashura is spent. He's now just vibing. This is fine. How many, like, Kime have we got left in deck? We've used one. We've only used one. We have 2 Kime Luna left in the deck still. Set again, set again. Goes to battle, swings over, gets 1,000. What? You've let me keep Yamiterasu again. Guess I'll normal. Activate. Alright, take a look at that one. Tribute. Tribute. Summon. Activate. Change that to defense. Summon. Activate. Grab the fusion. Activate fusion. Summon Kimiterasu. Kimiterasu. Popu. Popu. Is there any reason to do anything else? Go! Victory! We'll take it, we'll take it. I waited very long. You should run TCB in this deck to turn Yamiterasu into a warrior to pierce. I mean, that technically would work. I don't know how worth it would be, but potentially. It does seem very high roll. Because at that point, you could also just play Pierce. We'll save that replay as well. That was an alright replay. Oh! I don't know why we've suddenly clicked on this. Oh, look at that. Since when was time tearing in this game? Those limits on the new box decks don't really make sense to me. They went way too overboard. I think the issue is Floodgate's bad is kind of it. That's kind of where the beginning and end was. They don't want people playing a bunch of Yami rulers because it can slow the game down. They don't want people playing Yamiterasu because it can slow the game down. You still want to be able to do the cool anime stuff, but not in a way that is going to negatively impact the format. And based on that, I think that's fine. Is it like a really bad thing? I mean, kind of. But overall, I'm not like disappointed with it. I think it feels appropriately powered. I think if it was much more than that, it would be in kind of an awkward situation. So like I say, I'm kind of happy with it as it is. But we are now going to call it a day there, I think. Because it is gone for. We have been streaming for 4 hours now. 3 hours. 3 hours? 3 hours. So, we have got other stuff we have to get on with, unfortunately. Unfortunately, my friends. So, we will be back again on Tuesday, where we will be doing something probably Rush related. That does sound like us, doesn't it? We really do like the Rush, so we will be doing that. I mean, other than that, there's not really much else going on. We've just got our new content. Like, we haven't really gone over the speed stuff too much, but I think that's fine. We can maybe go over that next time when we have a bit more time. But, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
It's okay. Now that we have Barbaroid, we are undefeatable. Nothing can stop me now. Thanks so much for the raid, Tomatosaurus. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome in, raiders. We're currently definitely not regretting spending a dream ticket and 1,000 gems to play